take it, no it doesn't kill you. It makes you stronger, it wipes out the fear, it makes you live longer. It's not a lotion, it's no magic potion, it's just a dose of love in the moment.
Aha! People are there. Dear, dear precious. It might just be you and me tonight, precious. That's okay. Here because I care. Because I care. Let's have a look. So it's kind of a mellow thing tonight. Well, no, it's 7 o'clock. I make it 7 o'clock here. Is that right? Have I got it right? Wait a minute. No, it's 7 o'clock. Totally pure. Just watch this. No more weeping, no more sadness. Gone is the fighting, gone is the madness. We couldn't choose to become alive. Just disappeared. Hey, Scorpio Queen. Greetings, greetings. Carrie. Carrie Hilton, good evening. Good evening, good evening. Thomas Bayless. Mr. Thomas Bayless. All right. Thank you. Great, Lena. Well, who would have guessed? It's Lena. It's Lena. You rock star, Lena. Blue Mystery. Good evening, Blue Mystery. Okay, cool. Angie Love. Maritza. Angie Love. Maritza. Yay. Yay, 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 yay. Yay. Temperance rising, of course, it's always rising. Good evening. Temperance rising. Booyah! 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 Yeah. It's probably going to be a quiet night tonight because everyone's doing their Easter family stuff, you know. Sarah Murray. Sarah Murray. Sarah, your name sounds very close to a dear friend of mine. Sarah Murray. My friend is named Sarah Curry. Yeah. Aaron, the way to get to heaven, first of all, you visit the Tarot Lumination channel. You've already made the first step. Very, very smart. You're already there, or at least halfway. Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith is already on his journey, folks. SL12. Hold on. I need to get something right here. Give me a moment. I'm missing something. Okay, I got you, Angie Love. I got SL2 Aaron. Yeah, I got that. Hold on, I'm missing somebody. Tina, there you are. There's Tina. Good evening, Tina. Welcome. Nova Dawn. That sounds like a Netflix episodic sci-fi series. Nova Dawn. It is Nova Dawn. Series 1, Episode 1. Yeah, because I care. Libs Zapata. Libs Zapata. There we go. Nova Dawn the show. And you're Nova Dawn the star. And you probably have like yoga pants that look like this, and a black top that looks just like this, and you have swirly, sparkly things on your wrist that are like magic instruments and tools, and you can just point at somebody, and lots of amazing sparkly lights come out of your fingers. There you go, just like that. Jasmine, mini, mini, mini. Jasmine, min. Yeah. Yes, you could. Nova Dawn would be a fantastic. In fact, let's make a movie. Let's make a movie. Forget the. No, you know what? Episodic is better because you can make it go on, and then you can have the trilogy. You can have season 2, then you can have season 3, and you can be the star in each one of them. Good evening, Laura Ellen Smith. Laura Ellen Smith, of course. I'm always very, very blessed to have you here on the show, Ms. Laura Ellen Smith. Tanisha Prince. Okay, you sound like a famous actress too. Okay, here we go. Let's get that down, people. Ha ha ha. You are funny. You are very funny, Lena. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Oh, ha ha ha. Yes, it is April Fool's. Ha ha. This is not Terralumination. This is Lumiteranation. Ha ha ha. Yay. Yes. Temperance Rising. Oh my gosh, we have a whole freaking cast here. Look at the names of these characters in the movie. Okay, the movie. Here is the movie. I'm just making the poster for the movie, starring Nova Dawn. Starring Nova Dawn. And they have Temperance Rising in supporting role. And where was the other one who had the famous name? There was someone else who had a famous, like, hold on, I got to get the right cast here. We got to make sure everyone gets into the movie. Oh, I missed somebody. RLQ. RLQ Hate. Like Hate Ashbury. Okay. Superhero. Yes, superheroes. Superheroes are welcome on this channel. Sherry. So, okay, so we have quite a cast here for the movie Nova Dawn. Where's Temperance? Temperance, you're obviously an action hero yourself, that's for sure. Perfectly smooth. I gotta check on somebody here. Yeah. Oh, Thomas wants to be in the movie too. Oh gosh. Okay. Thomas wants to be in the movie. Thomas wants to be in the movie. Oh, you know what? Thomas, you could be like the professor or something. Thomas Bayliss. You could always be walking around in a suit and you have spectacles and kind of a goatee, like a goatee, mustache and beard. And you're very, 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 very brainy, but also a little bit strange. Now, of course, Temperance, you're probably very, very mellow, but when you have to get mean and ugly, you do what you have to be. What you do, it has to be done. Hold on, I just saw somebody. Lillian, I don't know how to spell that, so I'm just going to call you Lillian. And I just saw All Sun. I know All Sun's here. All Sun is in the house. All Sun is here with his automatic sparkleizing fluid and cloths. So if anybody wants a mobile cleanup, All Sun is your folks. All Sun's your person, okay? Comes in with the sparkleizers, the dusters, the spritzers, the polishers, the zappers, the tuner-uppers. Bammo, you're good again. Thanks, All Sun. No, 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 Lena, no. You have to be in the movie. You have to be in the movie. Oh, Lena, you could be like the girl buddy for Nova Dawn. So like wherever Nova Dawn goes, you have to go too, and you're always like like bam, bam. But you have a different wardrobe. You have to have a very special wardrobe. Nova Dawn wears a cat suit that looks like this. Nova Dawn cat suit looks like this, and she has special skills on her wrist. Sensibly phased. Okay, all right, sensible. I'm just gonna call you sensible. Yay! Favorite is here. Favorite is in the house. Our favorite darkness, yes. Yes, it's a very... Look who just showed up. Somebody just showed up. I wonder, who could that be? Stephanie. Ha! Okay, it's a crazy night, people. It's crazy, right? Ha! Jeffrey 11111111. Jeffrey is a numbers person, by the way. If you want to talk about banking and the Federal Reserve and politics, Jeffrey is your person. And Stephanie, I have to say thank you. Stephanie, it was a pleasure talking for sure. Stephanie has a super high IQ, by the way, so do not mess with Stephanie. No messing with Stephanie, okay? Thank you so much. I thank you too, Stephanie. Seriously. Giggles, where have you been? Giggles is in the house. In the house. We got good old school team here. 11 Fun 11. No. Hold on. I have to catch up. Hold on. Blue Mystery. Blue Mystery. Okay, that's new to me. You are new to me, Blue Mystery. Blue Mystery. Yes. Rohit from India. Rohit is in the house tonight. Thank you, people. Welcome. Good evening. Hold on. Okay, let's have a look. Precious, I already got you. Your life is a prophecy. Aha. Oh, Aaron Smith, you could be the wise man. Aaron, you could be like the elder. You could be like the senior elder, perhaps. I don't care about your physical age. It doesn't matter if you're just a teenager. But Aaron, it sounds like, you know, you have like silver white hair and a silver beard and a kind of a shimmery cloak, you know, like one of those like wizards. You have your typical classic wizard's cloak and your wizard's beard and wizard hair, and you are like the seer. Like Aaron is like Aaron. You can be like the wise one when everything is turning to a complete mess, and Nova Dawn doesn't know what to do, and Nova Dawn's good buddy Lena doesn't know what to do. They go and have a private meeting with Aaron, and Aaron gives them the good word and he waves the magic wand. Kapoof. And instantly, Aaron empowers Lena and Nova Dawn to go onto their epic mission to the planet Uranus. Yoo! And it is on the planet Uranus where we're going to start a brand new civilization. Yes. And you will be the first people landing there. Nova Dawn and Lena and Thomas and Temperance and Aaron, you will be the first people to land on Uranus. So there you go. MC's here. Happy Go. Happy Go is here. And oh, wait a minute, I missed somebody. Stay there. Don't go away. Don't go away, people. I got to get up the names. I got to try and... MC. Ah, I saw you. I got you, MC. You're here. Thank you. Jenny. Jenny H. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me give me... Jenny H. Okay, we got you. Now, this is kind of an insane movie. So we have to have somebody sensible. Who wants to be the really sensible, boring person? Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to be the one who basically says, okay, this is silly. Come on, people. Let's get real. Who wants to do that? Hold on. I saw you in your role. Jeffrey wants to be the reality checker. Okay, Jeffrey is the reality checker. Don't mess with Jeff. Don't mess with Jeff. In other words, you know, with all these amazing superpowers, oh, Scorpio Queen wants to do it as well. My God, everybody wants to be in the movie now. We'll have to have a load of extras. I hope you don't mind. We could have a bunch of extras or like supporting cast, you know? Yeah, we're all packing up and getting ready to go to Uranus. Yes. I'm surprised All Sun does not want to go to Uranus. Maybe it's too cold. We could do a musical. Oh my God, a musical. Genius. Absolute genius. Jeff is the reality checker. Okay, don't mess with Jeff. Yeah. Happy-go-lucky is the knower. Ah. And, oh, you can have your own TV screen. Nobody ever sees you, but they see you through a screen. The knower. And whenever they have to talk to you, they touch their magic watches, and then you appear in front of them like a magic screen over here, and then you have your face there in the middle, and then you have all these sparkly lights that come out, and then they swirl and sparkle and swirl and sparkle, and then you tell everybody the answers. You tell everybody the answers to their mysterious questions that Aaron could not answer. So even Aaron has a special watch. Even Aaron has a special watch so that Aaron can talk to Happy Go if he has to. Just in case. Just as backup, okay? Okay, Scorpio Queen, you'll be the producer. Yeah, and the director. Jenny's doing costumes and wardrobe. Hold on. Hair, makeup, and wardrobe. Hair, makeup, and wardrobe. Costume department is Jenny H. Somebody's got to do it. Yay, well done, Jenny. So you can go absolutely crazy. And you've got a whole team of people here at Tarot Lumination who can help with all the sewing and the stitching. Huh? Laura Ellen says, set designer. Perfect. My God, you guys. You guys have already got it figured out. Laura Ellen Smith, set designer. L-E-S. L-E-S. Set design. This is perfect. It's going to be epic. Jess Gray. Oh, Jess Gray, you're trying to buy a role. I know what you're trying to do. It's okay. It's okay. We'll keep a spot for you. Hold on. Where did that go? I just saw that. Hold on. Jess Gray. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to turn the music down. Jess Gray. It sounds like you could be like the really cool, calm, chill one. Like when everything and everyone is freaking out and everything's going ballistic, and the ship to Uranus is falling apart, and everyone looks like they're gonna die. Jas Gray, you're just kind of like, oh man, come on, we've done this before. We've all been superheroes in other superhero movies. We know it's not gonna get bad. We know we're gonna make it to Uranus. Just chill, okay? Everybody chill out. Stop squabbling. You could be one of those. How about that, Jess? All right? Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's have a look. Yeah, so yeah, it's someone it's a tough job. 3 inches of snow in the Poconos. Laura's up in the Poconos. Very, very chill. Yes, exactly. Very, very chill. Yes, Sue. Oh, Liz is going to pull up her transits. Okay, I was going to suggest that. Pull up your transits, Liz. Please. Jeez, do I have to keep telling you? Pull up your transits. Yeah. You want to be the sassy one. Okay. You have to add that into the role. When we're doing the casting here, we'll probably, you've already passed the audition, so you don't have to worry. But you're going to be the sassy one. Okay. So it's cool. Are we ready? Who's the director? I'm not going to direct this. Hold on. Who was that? Marcy Moberg. Marcy Moberg. Uh-oh. Somebody is getting very serious in the house. They're asking a real question. Hello, Aries wife. Will I get my Libra husband back? Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, I have to tell you, dear Marcy, sadly, Tarot Lumination is not a fortune teller. Marcy M. We can address these things. Well, it'll be kind of crazy if Tarot Lumination is the director. I'm just putting the movie together. Okay. Okay. Scorpio Queen, you want to be the director. Okay. The Virgo needs to direct. Yeah, I get it. Okay, and yeah, Tarot Illumination. I'll do some music, the soundtrack. I'll do the soundtrack. Now, who is going to actually write the screenplay? Someone has to write the screenplay. Oh, a hot air balloon. Oh my gosh. That could be like what you guys practice on. When you do all your practice for going into outer space, you can go up in a hot air balloon and like jump off and then see if your magic skills work. How about that? Yeah. No, Vadon, you can't be the director and the star. No. Just because you're a Virgo, just because All Sun said so. Okay, take it easy, Lena. I see what you're doing there. Okay, all right. So let's get Marcy. Okay. So Jess Gray for sure. I'm just doing a couple little hints here. Jess Gray, you are going to get a little mini reading. Now, Jeffrey, just for kicks, all right, let's have a look here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's okay, Lena. It's okay. Just remember, I don't want the Terra Illumination channel to shut down because of all the crazy people here. Um, and, you know, so, because as you know, this time last year, this channel was attacked many times by people who did not like it. And they tried to say that Terra Illumination was possessed by the devil, and it was a big scam to fool you all so that Terra Illumination could infect you with Satan. How about that? I mean, how nutty is that? Uh-oh, we got somebody else here. Carrie Hilton's on special effects. Brilliant. Yes. This is for the, you know, the credits at the end. Carrie Hilton. Special effects. Of course, Lena doesn't do that. Yeah. Yeah. So let's have a look. And your heart is there. Happy Go Lucky is doing craft service. Somebody's got to do it. Wait a minute, we already gave you a role. No, Happy Go, you're the all-knower. You can't do craft service. You're the all-knower. Okay, let's get serious here, people. Let's get, this is a really professional show. Okay? So, you know, at some point, Liz, I got you on the Liz, you're here. Oh, don't tell me you want to be in the movie too. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, you're right. I didn't put you. I'm so sorry, Liz. Jeez, thanks. Yeah. So, yeah. So, it's all right. Oh, what was that all about unblocking? Okay. Nova. Okay, I'm just gonna get a little bit picky here. Where's Stephanie? I put Stephanie on the list or something. Let's just get sorted out a little bit. Where's Nova Dawn? Where did I put you? Oh, there you are. All right, let's have a look. All right, let's have a look, people. Wow, this is going to be an epic movie. Nova Dawn, starring Nova Dawn. Supporting role, Temperance Rising, the really sassy one. Thomas Bayliss, the intellectual. So Thomas, you're going to be like, you know, what is it, M? You know, in the James Bond movies, he does all the fancy tricks and the toys and the gadgets to make sure that everybody's fully operational as a superhero. Lena, you are the right-hand person for Nova Dawn. Wherever Nova Dawn goes, Lena goes. And if they have to, they battle together. Aaron is the wise one, okay, who is doing a very good job of being the wizard, okay? But maybe you could be kind of a goofy wizard You don't know it all the time, because now and again you have to go and chat with Happy Go, who is the all-knower. And in case anybody's messing around, you have to check it out with Jeff, because Jeff, don't mess with Jeff. He is the reality checker. Okay? Okay, so making sure that this actually works and Starship Terra Illumination actually gets to Uranus. Okay? So in the credits, we have hair, makeup, and wardrobe, Jenny H. Laura Ellen Smith, set design. Carrie H is special effects. I think I'm going to put TL, is going to do the soundtrack. Okay, that's going to be and the sound. But we don't have the director yet. So maybe we'll just, we'll leave it like that for now. Maybe we'll figure out the director later. Yeah, sci-fi. Yeah. So it's going to be a fantastic movie coming out in a theater near you soon. Yes. Okay. So it's a quiet evening, people. There's only a few of us here tonight. It's Easter Sunday in America. So there's a lot of people just chilling out with friends and family, and it's very, 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 very quiet. So I understand. It's okay. So, you know, because sometimes we have nights here that are like there's 30, 40, 50 people. Okay. So let's get into the big reading. It's probably about time that we get into the big reading, people. This is just for us, guys. Jackie's here. Hey, Jackie, what's going on? We didn't see you there. You just arrived. Okay. Hi, Jackie. Okay, cool. Now, nom, 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 yeah, yeah. Okay, everybody come over to my place and we'll all have food. Yes, around the Terra Illumination campfire. So, oh, Nova Dawn's got the munchies. Okay, understandable. Jackie Sean, yes. First time director. That's okay, Sarah. Everyone's going to open the bottles. Okay. Okay. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look, see what's going on. So you know that Tarot Illumination, I don't really like, you know, with the way we do the tarot on this show, it's more like getting under the covers, getting in between the cracks and finding out what's going on. I know a lot of the tarot channels, they like, you know, ask and answer all the questions like, when am I going to meet my soulmate? And who is my soulmate? And things like that. And there is a way to do that, but it takes a lot of complicated spreads. And I have about 100 spreads that we can play with. But frankly, what I discovered, a lot of times it doesn't really work that way. So it doesn't really help too much. So that's why I only use a few spreads these days. So, you're right. Someone's got to be the evil villain. Well done, Tina. Fantastic. Fantastic. You know what they say in movies? You know what they say? I'm just going to put the villain here. Okay. So you know what they say in movies? The action hero, our hero, Nova Dawn, with trusty Lena at her side, is only heroic as the villain is evil. So for this to work really well as a really good movie, Tina, you have to absolutely be the epitome of evil here. Just way beyond just a villain. A really conniving, manipulative, just like the worst possible being you can imagine. Like just making life miserable for these people just for the pleasure of it. And that, of course, like, in other words, the more villainous you are, Tina, the better Nova Dawn looks. And that's what it's all about. So yeah, Nova Dawn gets all the accolades and, you know, gets to be the next Jennifer Lawrence and all of that. But that would not happen without you, Tina. All right? Just to be sure. Yeah. Oh, Path Traveler. Hi, Path Traveler. Let me put Path on here. I want to put Path in the meeting. Yay. Yeah. Mary H., stop showing off. Okay? Hi, Path Traveler. Good evening. Hi, Happy Go Lucky. Yes. Yeah, all this silliness, all this crazy silliness. It all started with Nova Dawn. Where did this all come from? Jeepers. Linda Descartes. Wait a minute. Linda Descartes. It sounds like you are Linda. I forgot to put you on here. God, it sounds like you should be in the movie just because of that name, Linda Descartes. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe. Oh, we'll talk about the movie later. Okay? All right. I don't know what that means when they raise hands. I don't understand that. Yeah. So it's a very quiet night here at Terra Lumination. I'm happy for you. Greater chance to get a reading, I suppose. Well, I'm glad you think I sound strong tonight because it's been a very tough week. Okay? Yes, I look strong too. Thank you very, very much. So let's clear some space here. We're going to do a reading for all of us, just for fun. Give me some room. Let's have some room here. Let's have a look. Let's get some space sorted out. Yep. Okay, here we go. All right, ready, people. Oh, I don't know about you, but man, what a crazy period lately. Have you? I'm sure some of you have watched some of the reports by now. We just had this. This was yesterday. Look at this. Look at this monster. I know some people don't even know about this stuff. They don't even care about it. But, you know, I have to watch this stuff. Otherwise, I come unglued. We just came out of this super, super tough full moon. So I don't know where this landed in your chart, people. It could have been anywhere. Wherever it was, it would have caused a lot of pressure. So if any of you have had to endure an intense amount of pressure in one certain aspect of your life, wherever it was, pain, sorrow, grief, loss, tough pressures on relationships with a loved one or not with a loved one, things coming unglued, things coming to light, what's working, what's not working. That would have happened somewhere in your chart. But it's passing now, and by the middle of the week, this will be gone. I'm just giving you all some tips and heads up that we did on the reports. So, well, see, happy-go-lucky. I'm glad you felt it because I was very, very aware. I was very acutely aware of this energy here. It's very, very challenging. It's the cardinal signs, Capricorn, Libra, Aries. So, but that pressure pushes on everyone somewhere in their chart. These are the calendar moments coming up, April 15th. I hope you've got that marked on your calendar, people. April 15th. potential. I mean, it's exciting. It's a new moon, but it's also going to be very heavily challenged by the military police up here. Saturn and Mars together in Capricorn. Okay, so just be very, very uh, careful. Okay, let's move on from this one. This is stressful. April 21st, 21st, likely to be quite a stressful day for all of us somehow. And then at the end of the month, April 29th, we got the big fat Taurus Scorpio full moon. So I'm just giving you a heads up. It's weeks from now, but just want to give you a heads up, okay? Oh, tax day. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? Tax day. Yeah, sure. Well, it's good to see you folks. All right, let's just do this one. We're going to do this for the room. This is for the crowd, okay? This is for all of us, including Tarot Illumination. And you already know that I'm going to read these cards using the Journey of the Spirit, okay? It's going to look like our heart. And it's going to be on the understanding that we're very lucky to have each other. We're lucky to have this opportunity to share and commune with each other and connect like this. It's like, you know, I think of it as group healing, frankly. That's what I do. By the way, maybe we should say, I don't know, Path Traveler, if you want to share your story, feel welcome. If you think it will help you to relieve the pressure, go ahead and share your story. If not, don't bother. It's all right. Oh, you've already showed the story. Well done. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, see? Yes, excellent. So you made a good choice. I'm so happy you came on the show tonight, Path Traveler. And it looks like you've already told everybody, but let's make it official. Path Traveler just lost her dear companion, Maddie. Maddie was her dog friend for 14 years. And Path Traveler had to make a decision. It was time to say goodbye. And so we found this out earlier today, and we wished Maddie a safe trip to Doggy Heaven, where Maddie is now. And I believe Maddie is probably very, very happy. In fact, I don't know. This is going to sound very, very strange, Path Traveler. This is going to sound very, very strange. But this happens with myself sometimes because of the work that I do here and the work that I used to do professionally on a proper payroll and in the television business as a consultant. Just for a flash, just for a few moments there, this is going to sound, everybody can listen, but this is directed towards Path Traveler. I wanted to say that I had a very profound feeling of Maddie. I don't know what she looks like, but I felt that she was very, very happy for us to be talking about her. And she was very happy. And it was like she came up and gave me a lick on my face to say that she was very happy. And I don't think she's too worried that she had to be put down. And she's on the other side, and she's just like a 3-year-old, like a 3-year-old, 2 or 3-year-old, full of beans and happy. And she wanted to basically say, it's this is gonna. I don't do mediumship for pets, but sometimes things happen spontaneously. And I'm not making up this stuff, okay, Path Traveler? I'm just letting you know that about a minute and a half ago, I had this very vivid vision of Maddie, a dog, come up, look me in the eye, and do one of those doggy smiles and give me a big lick, and just to sort of, and a bit of a shake and everything, to express happiness and thanks. And I think the idea is that she wants me to tell you that she was so happy to be your companion, and that she is very happy on the other side now, and she looks forward to communicating with you through spirit if you want, anytime that you want. There you go. So there you go. No big deal. I'm just kind of curious. Does was Maddie kind of like I don't know, one of those? I had two colors, like like a whitish color and a yellow golden color. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've got to move on. Well, also, traveler, it helps if you invite her to visit you too. Okay, if you deliberately, uh, yeah, sort of like a collie look. I was thinking, yeah, yeah, that kind of like a collie look. I was just wondering. A labradoodle. Oh, oh, okay. White and blondish. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So there you go. Oh, God. The things we do on this show. All right, people, let's do some tarot, okay? Let's get serious. This is a very serious channel, you know. We do really, really important things here. I want to say thank you to all of you who've been so supportive for the channel with donations and readings and things like that, and checking in with all your amazing ideas and support. It really, really, really helps. You have no idea. It's actually a lot of work to keep this tiny little channel going. And I know some channels out there are just complete experts at all the sales and marketing and whatever they do, but I find it hard enough just to keep the channel itself going, and just to do the reports and to do the private readings and just to keep up with you guys. It's enough. Okay. All right, I think the cards are well shuffled. Let's just do this. Now you can just sit back and relax and kind of a trance, chat amongst yourselves. Just enjoy the evening together here, wherever you are. And just let Tarot Illumination go into the Tarot Illumination, a little bit of a trancey thing here. And then we'll tell a story. And the story will be read through the lens of love and healing. Okay? All right, here we go. At the very core heart energy of us, this is our energy here. The heart is beating, it knows what it needs, knows what it wants, and it's up to us to feed our heart, to listen to our heart and nurture our heart, because without that, there is nothing. Okay? It doesn't matter about anything else. The cars, the jobs, your looks, your houses, your careers, your pain, your sorrow, your joys, your ecstasy, all of it doesn't matter. If this is not, if the heart is not where it should be. Let's have a look. Legacy energy coming in. We might, all of us, have kind of like a big full moon hangover just starting to kick in. I don't know about you, but I'm sort of feeling that way. All day long, I felt as though I had kind of a hangover, even though I'm not drinking. So there you go. And this is the ever-present now, where we own our power, where we have our power, where we can forget about everything, all our grief and sorrow and our losses, and all our anticipation and anxieties and excitement for our so-called future. Let's just, you know, be here present now, because it's in the now where we get to make our decisions and create our happiness from the inside out by choice, being loving and being loved Loving ourselves first and foremost. So how do we do that effectively? Okay, to bring the love forward, to bring the love into action. Love is as love does. From the Tarot Illumination perspective, love is as love does. So let's have a look here. Then that would, of course, let's just assume we're really, really tuned in, turned on, and we're totally immersed in the laws of attraction, and we're totally in our power. This would be consequential. Over here, of course, we're going to mess up now and again. Uh, Even though some of you, I'm sure, are actually fully certified earth angels, not all of us can do that all day, every day, you know? So what if you mess up? Okay. On the other hand, what if you do a good job making your decisions? Okay. And over here, prospects and momentum leading us straight into the next beat. There's the heart. Over here, there's us pounding away. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Nurture me, love me, nurture me, love me. I'm doing all this work for you. I'm pumping all the nutrients around that you need for you in your life, and I'm taking away all the waste. Please don't forget me. Okay? There you go. So let's have a look circumstantially. What's going on? Okay, my feeling is that we're being really, really stretched and pulled and pressured right now. And the strength card, to me, it's an indication that, I don't know, this is getting kind of personal here, but I feel it's very much to do with this energy, in that a lot of us are really being pressured. Like, let's just say that we're all really super people. We're all really special, and we've figured out that we're all special here. And we come here to the show on Sunday Night Live just because we're so special. And we love to hang out together and do weird things like this and write movies together. However, we all know deep down, as much fun as that is, like Terra Illumination Love Tribe hanging around that campfire and all that, there is a higher purpose. There is a reason for all this. There is a reason for us being here, how we are, the way we are, with who we are, and how we share ourselves with each other. And let's recognize that. And so to me, it feels like let's recognize that and allow ourselves to grow and mature into this. And we are being encouraged to do that, to spiritually evolve, to spiritually grow, because it takes tremendous courage, especially if we're all going to get on our magic spaceship to Uranus. Okay, let's have a look. What's going on at the heart of us? I'm very encouraged to see this, the little page of wands here. To me, it's an indication that no matter how tough it gets, no matter how tough it's been, no matter how tough it's going to be coming down the road, we just lived through this. All of us just lived through this, and look at us. It's just like nothing happened at all. We're having a goofy, fun time. We've had our tragedies. I've had my Terra Illumination imitation hangover. Path Traveler lost Maddie. I'm sure all of you have intensely challenging things you've just had to live through. But hey, we're doing it. Okay? We're dealing with it. You might not even care about the astrology, but it's like weather and it happens anyway. But if you're here hanging out and having fun, you're doing a good job. Okay? Okay, let's have a look. What are we bringing in with us? Okay. To me, this looks like investment. To me, it looks like all of us here tonight have done a really, really good job of working on ourselves and actually supporting each other. What I notice from here, because I see it in the chat, I see how a lot of you are very supportive towards each other, and how some of you have made friends across the world and set up your own private connections, which I think is beautiful. And that's work. I see that as an investment. I see that as Terra Illumination Love Tribe investing in itself, growing itself, the people loving ourselves, loving each other, and turning it into work, turning it into a practice, turning it into like a daily practice, being loving, being loved, being loving, being loved. Deliberate choice, okay? And it's working. Also, to me, it's an indication that we don't want to like get obsessive about this kind of stuff. It's okay to just chill. Like if you're having a really crappy day and you can't, you know, be 100% in the vibes all the time, that's okay too. We have our excuses. We have our innocence. We have our naivety. We have our humanity to fall back on. We can say to each other, well, I had no idea. It's okay. You're still doing your best. We're all doing the best we can. We're all doing a really, really good job of investing in ourselves and each other. To me, this is evidence of love is as love does. In other words, not flowers and roses and chocolates, but efforts extending ourselves beyond our comfort zone in order to nurture and foster the spiritual health and healing of ourselves and each other and our loved ones, including us here tonight. What about the now? Okay, with the world here, my feeling is that, okay, this is going to sound a little bit far-fetched, but my feeling is that we're all kind of aware that there are big changes coming our way. And I think this is very much to do, I mean, it's, I'm really, really stretching it here, but I think this is something to do with Uranus. Uranus moving into Taurus next uh, May, May 15th. Okay, it's a huge shift, and because it's such a huge shift, it's a 7-year transit. We're already starting to feel it. I think a lot of us deep down, if we really are really honest, and I can tell you that I have been feeling it personally with these dynamics here, that we're under a tremendous amount of pressure to change and grow and evolve. And it's going to mean, I know for myself in my personal life here, there are big endings happening and new beginnings happening. And so that's just how it is. And these are things that have been probably building up for lifetimes, not just from the last few weeks or the last year, but for lifetimes. And I feel really big changes coming up. And my guess is that it's for you guys too, but it's very, very deep down. It's very hard to pinpoint this exactly at the moment. Actually, wait a minute. I'm going to just do it. Give me a moment here. Just bear with me. It's an astro doodle. You know how I get. Okay, this is kind of an out of control reading here, as you can tell already. But my feeling is that the world card here is very much to do with Uranus moving into Taurus. Okay? And I trust my intuition. I've helped a lot of people, and sometimes I don't understand what I'm saying when I'm saying it. But when I get the affirmation, then I feel better and safer. So let's make a universal chart, okay? Like so. And here is crazy, wacky Uranus. So there you go. I don't know if you can see this properly, but for the last 7 years, we have been dealing with a Uranus in Aries transit, and it's approaching the last degrees right now, 28, 29 degrees. Okay, we're here already, 28 and 29. Okay, and just crossing those two little tiny degrees is going to take 6 weeks. Okay, now you know the moon, it takes a couple of days to zoom around. Well, Uranus takes 7 years. So what's going to happen is Uranus is moving from Aries and it's moving into Taurus for the next 7 years. Now, this thing right here, wherever this sits in your chart, like this, wherever it is, whoever you are, wherever it is, it's a very, very big deal. It's a very big deal for all of us, okay? So right now, my feeling is that deep down in our guts, our deepest, deepest guts, we are all feeling it. Like there are big, irreversible changes coming up. In other words, you can't, even though we're going to take our movie and go up to outer space and go to Uranus, we can't force it to go backwards, even in a retrograde. It is going to move into Taurus, and there's no stopping it. There's no moving back. And for the next 7 years, we're going to go on a new journey. It's, to me, this card right here is representing the end of the era for Uranus in Aries and the beginning of the era for Uranus in Taurus. Okay? That's how I feel about this. And all of you guys here are mature enough and responsible enough and cool enough and chill enough to handle this, uh, and we're just going to deal with it, okay? In other words, it's not going to crush you or anything. It's going to be very, very cool and life-changing for all of us, okay? So next, how do we make our decisions given these big changes? Okay, so my feeling here is that even though it might be a lot of pressure, there's an indication that there's a lot, to me, it feels like there's a lot of what I would call limbic resonance here tonight, where we're obviously appreciative of each other. I, Terra Lumination, here deeply appreciate and value all you guys to the point where I am honored to be here for you and to have this platform so you guys can hang out and enjoy yourselves and have fun with these readings. Secondly, I know that you guys love me. I know you love Terra Illumination because you tell me over and over and over again, and I'm very grateful. I'm not a snob. I'm not. I'm not embarrassed about this. I love it. I love that you guys love me, and I'm glad that I have the chance to share my love with you guys. And I'm thinking of this as love is as love does, the evidence of love. Okay, it's like when we're making our decisions, we're making our decisions from our ultimate dignity, our ultimate self respect, our ultimate wealth, our ultimate power, uh, with no apologies and in a very dignified way that feeds us in our new journey, our new adventure going forward, okay? Especially when it comes to the movie Nova Dawn, okay? Because we're going to need all the courage, all the guts, and all the love that we can get because we're all heading into a new frontier, okay? So none of us would be here unless we had earned it, okay? To be able to, like, for all of us to, resonate at these frequencies here, uh, you have to have earned that. It's a lot of work. It's a huge amount. You might have spent lifetimes getting to here where you're radiating your decisions from the energy of the King of Pentacles, knowing that sometimes you have to make a tough call and cry your eyes out, knowing that sometimes you can make a really good call where things can work out and there's a lot of joy, but you have the courage and you're not going to fake it. There's no faking here. There's no pretending at all here on Terra Illumination. This is the real deal, okay? Making your decisions from your highest, most evolved, dignified self in a way that's evidence. Love is as love does, the evidence of love, not the wishy-washy stuff, but the actual facts, okay? On the understanding that love is like an energy. It's a flower. It's a healing force. It's like a current. It's like a current of electricity, and you have it and you own it, and you're making your decisions accordingly. Now, how do we do that effectively to serve the heart in our innocence here? Okay, well, we get what we deserve. With the justice here, it feels to me that it's going to be putting a lot of things, there are a lot of things that are going to come unbalanced, that are going to become exposed as unbalanced, and this is going to be the chance for us to bring things back into balance. And it's very impersonal. I feel that this is again kind of to do with Uranus, in that Uranus has nothing but our best outcomes in mind. Okay, it's just that it's going to be kind of an earthquake uh, epoch. The next 7 years is going to be very epic, okay? Especially in the middle around January 2020, well, in the early parts. And so when we're making our decisions here from our power like this in ways that are very, let's say, solid, realistic, and substantial, the way to do it is in a very, what I feel is in a very neutral manner. In other words, no apologies. No apologies. If you have to make a very, very tough decision, sometimes we have to do that. Like, are we going to be with someone or not? Are we going to go somewhere or not? Are we going to invest or not? Are we going to uh, allow ourselves to withstand the pressures of evolving or not? Or are we going to try and force ourselves to stay stuck in the status quo? No. So my feeling here is to be very um, aware that when we're making our decisions, there are no apologies. No matter how tough it gets, you have to stay in your integrity, uh, and so that you don't squander all the work, all the investment that you've brought in so far. Okay, it's all done on the understanding that we all have a long way to go. We have a lot to learn. All of us are going to be changing a lot and learning a lot starting in the next few months. It's a new journey for all of us. Okay, no apologies. Consequently, okay, my feeling is what can happen is that we're going to get exposed gradually and slowly, incrementally, irreversibly. We're going to get exposed more and more to all the things that are not working for us in our epic new life chapter unfolding. So, as we, I mean, I know this is kind of a little bit early because this doesn't actually happen. Let me put that on here till May 15th. I'd like to all, by the way, now that we're here, I would like all of you to mark your calendars. May the 15th, 2018. Uranus is going into Taurus, and we have the Taurus new moon. Okay. So this is a very significant calendar moment for everybody, the whole world. And my feeling here is that over the next, whatever it is, 6 weeks or so, like a clock, tick tock, 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 like so. My feeling is what's going to happen is we're going to become more and more exposed to what this is going to start to look like for us, each of us as individuals. Your journey path traveler is going to be quite different from Constance or Laura Ellen or Mary or All Sun or all of us. But we're all going to be facing this. Each one of us is going to be facing a lot of our, let's say, challenges that have been hidden up till this point, and they're going to come to the surface. And we're going to me, it feels like we're going to have to honestly admit that it's going to stretch us and pull us, uh, perhaps beyond our comfort zone. But that's kind of what the purpose of Uranus is anyway. It's to like, it's almost like forced, what they call forced evolution, where if we've been getting too safe and comfortable in our status quo, then Uranus comes along and goes, ha, 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 blammo, wake up, everybody. And it's completely unpredictable. And the whole idea is to expose all of these challenges, okay? And to bring out, okay, it might make you feel as though you've been pushed or forced into a corner because there's no going back here. Uh, but that's what we need to do. We need to face this. We need, in our innocence, in our naivety, and our desire to grow and evolve, we need to face this going forward. And we will endure, okay? It can be very tough at times, but we will endure. So if you're starting to get glimpses of or feelings of like, the world is shaking under your feet over the next few weeks and more issues are coming up, uh, to me, that would be normal. That's good news. We need to know this. You don't want to end up moving into this new chapter of life going blind. Okay? Let's have a look. What happens if we mess up when we lose our self respect and dignity? Well, we lose the chance to evolve and grow. My feeling with the Six of Swords here is about evolution and growth, moving on from our, let's say turbulence and drama and perhaps, you know, like our murky ponds, our stagnant pools of, what do they call evolutionary tide pools, where we get stuck because we're too scared to move on. My feeling here is if we lose it and we start cheating ourselves and making decisions that are below us, below our, you know, our true selves, our true honesty and dignity, then we are setting ourselves up to go backwards in time. And it just brings more pain unnecessarily. However, when we do choose to move forward in our dignity, then it allows us to, you know, to me, it feels like grinding through our problems one by one as everything shifts and changes and catches us off guard, and our values changes, our sense of self-worth changes, the way we value others, the way others value us changes, and it's going to allow us to me, it feels like to be liberated and move on and only carry that which you need with you when you do that, because it's very easy to get earthbound while we are here on planet Earth. But if we can understand that we're only here for a moment, and that sometimes it's better to travel light and just carry the good stuff, only worry about the good stuff that you can carry with you, and just leave, if you have to, just leave the rest behind. It's not a big deal. Someone else will pick it up and enjoy it. Prospects. On to the next beat. Wow. Okay. This is not a relationship reading. I'm just going to look at this as a broad spectrum thing. My feeling here is that over the next few weeks, we're going to become more and more aware of how the relationship dynamics are starting to play out in our lives that we haven't understood before. I'm going to go right back to this. This was here uh, this morning and yesterday and the day before, this kind of heavy energy here. And it's a tremendous pressure on relationships, our most important, profound relationships. For all of us, in some ways, have probably been under tremendous pressure. And the idea is like, what are we going to do now? How are you going to reintegrate this so that it works properly? Because there's no going back. Moving forward, it means, to me, it's all about, I'm just giving you my personal opinion here with the tarot reading, is that it's going to become very, very important about what is it and you truly value in your world, in your relationships. What is it that you truly value about the others? What is it that they truly value about you going forward? And then making your decisions accordingly, nobly, in a very noble way. And anything that is inappropriate or unacceptable, it needs to be released, okay? Because with the lover's energy here, it's kind of an either or, like you're either with me or you're not. So when we're making decisions about, you know, who are you going to surround yourself with going forward from here? Who are the people that you're going to deliberately choose to keep in your life, bring in your life, nurture into your life, and if necessary, who needs to be released? Okay, and these are very tough decisions. Sometimes we are very deeply wedded to significant others to whom we have outgrown, or they have outgrown us. But because of three-dimensional worldly conventions, we can end up stuck because we feel we have to honor what I would consider obsolete contracts, obsolete and redundant contracts that are really serving nobody. And then we have to go back in and re-examine everything and rip it all apart in classic Uranian style. And that which you do not do consciously and deliberately would be ripped up anyway. So either way, it puts us in a position where we're going to have to basically face it. We're going to be making big decisions going forward about, who do I love? Who do you love? Who do you really love? Who really loves you? Are you able to live and let live? Are you able to love and let love? Can you be loving? Can you be loved in such a way that is like to a higher standard than you've ever done before? That's very, very tough. But this is an opportunity to face that and grow into that, okay? Now, you guys, you can reinterpret this however you want. I just want to leave that with us for now. To me, this is kind of exciting. Partly is because of the unfolding things happening in the next few months as we shift from Uranus in Aries to Uranus in Taurus. But I also feel um, it's a little bit scary. It's just a little bit like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can handle this. Yes, we can handle it. We've got more than enough capacity to handle it. It just requires staying in your power, staying in the now, being ready, willing, and able to let go and move on, and then make new decisions accordingly. Okay? Sometimes very tough decisions. Okay? Let's leave it at that. Okay. Yeah, let's put that in here. Thanks for the reminder. Thank you for the reminder. Let's put that over there. To me, let's put it this way. To me, it feels like all of us here tonight are being called to take ourselves up to the next level, to a higher standard, to higher standards for ourselves and for each other. Not to be, to have more money or be more successful or whatever it is, but to do with truly honoring and loving ourselves, deep, deep self-respect, deep, deep self-love, and being willing to change if necessary, if you understand that you are operating below your best self. It's time to increase, let's say, your standards, our standards, and bring it into spiritual alignment, okay? Like a higher degree of spiritual alignment with ourselves and each other. We can do that, all right? You got it? You got it? I'll just leave it there. Take a snapshot in your brain, or you can do the action replay later another day if you want. Let's leave it at that. Okay. I'm going to put on a tune, hopefully. Let's just see. Okay, I'm going to put on Fighting Well. Stay there, people. I'm going to put on a tune while I shift. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. Everybody grab a partner and dance, okay? I'm going to shuffle now. Oh. My T cells are fighting well. 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 Oh, everybody dance. Oh, everybody dance. Everybody dance. Everybody dance. Moves her head like a pigeon. Moves her head like a pigeon. Moves her head like a pigeon. Yay, who's that? Imtonar. Okay, hold on, folks. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Imtonar. Imtonar. Let me just check something here. Okay, all right. Where's all my little notes? There we go. How about that? Okay, that's enough for now. Let's see what we've got going on. Who's up first? I think we'll do Stephanie. Stephanie, you're up. Keep it fresh, you know, while things are still stirring. How about that? So Stephanie, you're up. This is just going to be a little quickie for fun thing. It could mean anything, and it's up to you. This is your reading. All right, cards are well shuffled in advance, Steph. So here we go. This will be fun. This is not a test. This is not a test. Emergency, emergency, emergency. This is not a test. This is not a test. Okay. That's one of the scenes from the movie, okay? That's when they're all up on the holodeck and they're all looking out of the spaceship and something goes wrong. Oh no. Yep. Gabby Girl. Oh, hold on. I got some names there. Gabby Girl. Sorry, hold on. Give me a moment. Got to catch up here, people. FB and Gabby Girl. Okay, FB and Gabby Girl. I think I got Gabby Girl. Wait a minute. I got Giggle. No, I didn't get Gabby Girl. There you go. There we go. I got that. This is not a test. All right. We already cut the cards, so we're going to go. Hold on tight, people. Grab your partner by the hand. Get your barf bags handy, tissues handy, whatever it takes. Stephanie, if this doesn't make any sense to you at all, it might be the most perfect reading for someone else here tonight, and you are just channeling for them, okay? So that happens sometimes, all right? Here's the situation. Here's the challenge. Here's how we're going to handle it. What's the weather like? Let's have a look. Could be anything. It's nothing to do with you, Stephanie, but it could be everything to do with you if you make it your business. Okay, the strength. Okay, so maybe it's going to be one of those nights where we got a lot of synchronicities, synchrodipity. My feeling here with the strength card is an indication that surrounding conditions are actually very stimulating for you, Stephanie, very much encouraging you to rise up. What I would think of as rise up and take all your natural gifts and let's say the egoic self that you know very, very well, all your strengths and shadows, and allow for something new and magical to happen where all that strength and power is going to be, let's say, refined and purified, cleansed, and brought into, let's say, higher purpose, higher meaning for you and for everyone. It's opportune. That kind of energy is there. It's like a signal. It's like the weather is very encouraging for you. Let's have a look at the situation. Okay, well, it looks like you're absolutely glowing right now, Stephanie. So I don't know how to take full advantage of this, because it's just it's almost like, to me it feels like it's that sort of feeling, where we have a sense that at least something is happening right in life, where you can just take your foot off the uh, the accelerator and the throttle, and just allow for some of the good things to be felt in life. Like, just say those moments of synchronicity where at least sometimes it happens, where you just feel it, like everything's lining up just right for you, and you're radiating your most glorious, abundant, luscious self, all your gifts and talents and qualities, all your abilities to manifest and make do, the fertility here, the energy of fertility, the energy of being fertilized, the energy of having an embryo, planting that and nurturing that, caring for that, and bringing it into fruition. That's all very evident here. And so that, to me, this is a very good sign. And it's glowing, and there's no apologies here. Like in their other reading, this to me feels the same here. It's just, uh, we're all deeply flawed in our own ways, but now and again, it's amazing to just realize how awesome we are as well, in our full splendor and our full glory. And I just have a feeling you're just having one of those moments, Stephanie, where it feels good. It just feels good to feel good. It's like, and sometimes those things are very rare moments, but that's what makes them so good. When they do happen, you realize, oh my gosh, that does exist. It does exist. This does exist in my life. This does exist. It is a fact. It's a reality. Question is, what do we do with that? What is the challenge with all this? Because that's a lot. Okay, so more arcana. So Stephanie, I mean, just look. This is kind of loopy reading. My feeling here, Stephanie, is that we're dealing with matters that are kind of what I would call above and beyond your control, as the way people like to be in charge of their lives or control their lives. There are certain things that are going on here that are completely uh, above and beyond and out of control in the way that we would understand it. And when it's in this position here, um, to me, it's almost like, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but what do you do if you're a control freak and all your abilities to control are being removed from you, and you are being asked to uh, basically allow yourself to fall apart in order to be reconfigured? Okay, so that's a big challenge, and it's understandable. The thing is, this might be happening in a way that feels like you're being pressured and fated into this, where it's like you don't have any choice. It's like you're kind of in some kind of nozzle, in some kind of funnel, where you don't. There's no way out of it. The only way out is through. And so whatever is collapsing, you just need to observe it and watch it all fall apart. And whatever unfolds, just get in with the flow and go with it, because there's no choice. But that's the challenge here. If you like being in charge and being the boss in things, and yet things are happening that feel out of your control, that can feel very disturbing, very disorienting, and very uncomfortable, very unwelcome feeling. So how are we going to deal with that? If there's so much energy here piling up into and through you, Stephanie, kind of like as though you're an instrument, and you're being energy is coming into you, and then it's being forced through a funnel like a nozzle. And then how are you going to do that effectively, so that it works, okay, so that it works properly, so all your gifts and talents um, actually this becomes functional, where you can actually take full advantage of this energy, so and it doesn't all blow up. My gosh, the whole freaking reading is, look at that. Okay, Stephanie, my feeling here is just basically surrender, totally, totally. It's like, allow things to happen. If you like, let's put it this way, if you really like to be the boss, really like to be in control, and yet things are happening, unfolding in such a way where it might feel as though you have absolutely no control at all, where instead you are being grabbed and all your talents are being used by a higher force for higher purposes. That in some ways is very exciting, very delicious and stimulating, but it's also very scary because it means like, wait a minute, there's something bigger than me moving in me and through me. My feeling is to accept that as a very, very, let's say, profound gift where it allows you through your, let's say, what I would call the mundane aspects of day-to-day life, just living through this journey that's going to start unfolding in front of you here, over which in some ways you might feel as though you have no control, where you are more of an instrument as opposed to like what I would call a three-dimensional uh, manifester. It's like you're manifesting on behalf of something bigger and more important than you. So it does mean like challenges to the ego here, but if you look at it as the whole thing on the personal level as a very, very like divine opportunity for deep soul healing, that's great. In other words, what's happening for you in your three-dimensional world, which would you would call your life, is deep down at the deep soul level, is actually part of your soul healing journey. I think that's very much to do with Chiron right now. And I think this is probably hangover effects from all the Pisces energy last month. And it's in other words, it's time to let the healing power of love move into your body, your mind, your heart, your soul from up above and let it flow through. In other words, if you've been praying for something this epic to happen and now it's here, but the way it's happening and the way to control it's happening is kind of above and beyond you, there's no point in fighting that. The answer is to say, bring it on. Bring it on. I've asked for it. Now I've got it. Now let's do it. So where you literally allow yourself to be the conduit and it moves through you and it becomes very, very soothing. The actual process of release and surrender to allow the healing power of love move through you so that it becomes a healing experience for you, but you bring the healing to others as well. That in itself is very healing. I know it sounds, what I'm trying, I don't want to confuse you. I'm just trying to say the actual process of allowing that to come into you, owning it, and then moving out of you is very healing for you, but it's simultaneously like part of the mission. Like it's good for others. Okay? So there we go. Let's leave it at that. I hope that made a little bit of sense, Stephanie. If not, please bequeath your reading to someone else in the room who actually thinks that it might be for them, because that happens. Looks like we need some group healing going on in the room here tonight. So, oh gosh. I'm glad you guys are whooping it up out there, making the best of the evening here tonight. Thank you so much for showing up, of course. Jeffrey, you are up. Okay? You are up, Jeffrey. Just hold on. It's probably going to be a pretty short show tonight because Tarot Illumination is a little bit under the weather, a little bit pooped out. Feeling a lot better for being able to hang out with you guys. So let's make the most of this, okay? Just give me a second here, Jeffrey. I gotta do this, okay? Thank you, Stephanie. Light Flower, hey, welcome. Hold on. Light Flower and Indigo Child. And Indigo Child. Was it Indigo Child? I think it was you who triggered that group healing thing last week. Weren't you here last week? And we kind of, I remember making some doodles about a group healing and putting somebody, I think we put Laura. Where's Laura? Yeah, yeah, last week we put Laura Helen Smith in the middle of a healing circle, and we did a group Reiki healing. And everybody, I mean, it was kind of less like a demonstration. I don't know if it was actually working or doing anything. I was doing what I can, but I was trying to indicate that we had that possibility here. And so I think, Indigo, yes, it was you. I think it was you who actually triggered that thing. So yes, it was Laura Allen. She was in the middle, and she received some group healing from all of us. Yeah, wasn't it a neck? Didn't you have like a really bad headache or a neck ache or something, Laura? Something like that? And Indigo said, well, what about some Reiki? Yeah, so there you go. Thank you so much. Welcome. Good evening. Yes, that was you. How are you feeling now? Are you okay now? You feeling better, Laura? Oh, great. Excellent. First time, Katina. Wait a minute. Hold on. We have a Katina. Katina Mitchell, your neighbor is making you watch this. That's funny. Somebody is, Katina is being forced to watch Terra Illumination. That's insane. You don't have to, Katina. Oh, so I wanna. Fritali, you're here. Lydia. Fritali, good evening. Ivona is here. Good evening or good morning. Good morning, good morning. Ray Del Sol. Oh, isn't that funny? That's so funny. Katina is being forced to watch by her neighbor, Ray Del Sol. That's how I understand it. Rays of the sun. So, let's have a look here. Hold on, Katina. If you're being, hold on, just hold on, all right? Because I'm kind of stuck in the middle of the show here. And you know what we could do, people? We could do a little bit of a hazing tonight. How about that? Because Katina the Skeptic is here tonight. So we're going to read for Jeff, and then we got to read for Jess Gray, and a read for M. Tonar. And we'll close it out. Well, we might not close it out, but we'll see. We're going to have Katina the Skeptic. Katina the Skeptic. How do you spell skeptic? I hope I spelled it right. So there you go, Katina. There you go. Gonna get hazed. Oh, hold on. We're reading for Jeffrey, right? That's if we get that far. We'll see. Maybe I'll burn out before we get that far, and you won't have to stress, okay, Katina? Oh, gosh. You know I can't help doing this stuff, people. I'm kind of a tarot junkie like you guys. So what can you do? If you're a tarot junkie, there's no going back. I'm a self-confessed tarot junkie. At least I don't try to hide it. Katina is a new Love Tribe member. We have to give you kind of a rubber stamp. I think we're going to have to create a rubber stamp. So whenever you show up at the show, I can just go or stick it on your arm. You know, like when they come to the club. They come to the club and we'll give you the stamp. Okay, here's your stamp. Good evening. Welcome to Tarot Illumination Sunday Night Live. There you go. Welcome. Now head into the room. Now you have to go past security and they have to frisk you. Okay, it gets really scary because we have, I don't know if you know about this, people, but we have intensely high security operation here because it's a very, very professional channel, as you know. You got the wild unknown. Oh my gosh. All Sun, Mr. Mischief. All Sun knows exactly what he's doing. Okay, let's have a look here. What's going on? Jeff, you're up. Mr. Reality Checker. Cards are shuffled. Tarot Illumination angels are in the room, in the house. Please bring your own angel team on board. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for all your support. You're a trooper, man. A reasonable, respectable cut going on there. What's the situation? What's the challenge? How are we going to handle this? Let's have a look at the weather. We don't want to get sidetracked. Remember, you don't have to. The whole idea is to make the best of the weather, okay? So that it doesn't have to own you. It's circumstantial, okay? So the Devil card here, to me, it feels like wrestling with, I would say, like, you know how we get tied up in our own knots, and we get so tied up in our knots we don't even know we're tied up in a knot. We are the knot itself. To me, it feels like there's a little bit of that there, to the point where we forget that we don't have to be owned by that. So we can unbind ourselves like by a decision. The reality is that it's actually very, very hard to do. So if circumstantial energies feel as though they're very, very binding, in other words, kind of locked in, where you might feel like you don't have a lot of choices, that can be very frustrating to the point, or annoying. Also, well, let's just leave it like that, okay? I don't want to stress that one too much. What's the situation? Okay, it seems to me like we're in a kind of a vortex of trying to figure out what it is you really, really want, what it is you truly value, who loves you, who do you love, who loves you, who do you love? Because it's like part of an unfolding equation. Are we being loving? Are we being loved? Are we being truly loving? Are we being truly loved? Are we doing that to the highest levels of integrity? Like this. Hold on. I'm feeling a strong resonance with this little image here, because with this very, very stressful angle here, the Aries sun was opposing the Libra moon, with heavy pressure on both sides from the Saturn Mars military police, pounding down on the dynamic of relationship wherever this lies in your chart. It doesn't matter. But the point is, the whole point of it is that are you being fully in your integrity of self? In other words, like understanding like your true sense of self-worth here. Like, are you doing anything that is below you? Are you surrounding yourself with people who are below you? Are you I mean, I don't want to sound like this is arrogance and stuff, but it can be very, very frustrating to live a life where you're not with your tribe, where you're not with your people, not with people on your same wavelength, and then having to separate from anything and anyone that is not on your frequency. So my feeling here is that there is a sense of binding, there is a sense of commitment, a sense of, let's say, almost like hostage, being hostage to questions of worth and self-worth, like who's worth it. I mean, it sounds awful, like judging people and evaluating people, like, am I really supposed to be with you? Are you really supposed to be with me? And like, so what does that say about me? In other words, when you're relating with so-and-so, what does that say about you? You know, when you look at your friends, your people around you, uh, you know how alcoholics like to hang out with alcoholics. Corporate leaders like to hang out with corporate leaders. moms with little kids like to hang out with moms with little kids, all that kind of stuff. To me, it feels like it's very, very important right now to figure out, like, where do you belong? The situation is like, who am I really? What are my true value? What is my true gifts? And where do I belong with all of this? And who are the people who I need to be with? And who do I need to share my wealth and abundance with? So what's the challenge with all of this? Okay. Well, my feeling is being stuck. Again, I think it goes back to here. My feeling is that the challenge with trying to figure out what needs to be figured out here is that you might be stuck in what I would call like a lose-lose situation where it's impossible to figure these things out. Um, so long as the binding is there. So, but the thing is, if you're not even aware that you're bound up in it, then you get stuck in a self-defeating pattern where you're always trying to figure out something that can't be figured out. Some things cannot be fixed. Some things are broken beyond repair, totally foobar, effed up beyond all repair. Okay, I think all some would understand. It's a military term, I believe, foobar, so you don't have to say bad words. So my feeling is the challenge for you, Jeff, is being maybe psychologically, emotionally, materially stuck in a situation that can't be fixed. And that's a problem because then you would have to admit it's a situation that can't be fixed. And then how do you untangle yourself out of that so you can radiate yourself at your true frequencies, your true sense of self-worth, radiate your talents most effectively, and be with the right people who appreciate that. So it becomes mutually like a win-win situation as opposed to a lose-lose. So how do we do this? I guess let's have a look. Okay, because my feeling is that the problem is being uh, bound up without knowing, without being aware of how binding a situation or a person or a relationship or a way of life might be. And then, so how do we deal with that? First of all, point one, number one thing is to recognize your own talents and your own gifts and how incredibly fortunate you are already on one side, which gives you the ability to share your gifts and talents with others. And at the same time, we wave a magic wand and we realize that uh, you need TLC just as much as others need you. Okay, and so it's time to realize that it's okay for you to be on the receiving end and needing help, needing nurture, needing investment from others, and appreciation and like support of others. Like for example, if you enjoy being here tonight, like with Terra Illumination Love Tribe, understanding that there's more to Terra Illumination Love Tribe than just coming on this channel. There's some lovely people out here who would probably like to hang out with you. You could hang out with them and bring things into balance so you might have a stronger and an increasingly growing sensation of being with your people, being with people on your wavelength. And then gradually, instead of, in other words, I don't think this is something that can be solved overnight. I think this is something where you have to very gently tease it out, undo the binding, undo the knots that have been all, gnarly for a long time. And it's kind of releasing oneself from the knots and bringing things back into harmony and balance, um, instead of hoping or trying or expecting things to be one way. And it's over, it's done, it's obsolete, and allowing yourself to kind of be in the flow a lot more where you can share your gifts with others and others can share their gifts with you and bring things into harmony and balance like you've never enjoyed before. Thanks, Jeff. I hope you got something out of it and it made a little bit of sense, at least a tiny bit. All right. Tonar. Now remember, I'm not fortune telling here. I'm not answering any questions, really. Honestly, I'm not doing that. I mean, it would be cool if I could, say October 2018, you're going to meet the love of your life, or all of a sudden all the romantic disasters that you've had to endure are going to be perfect again, because I can tell. Well, I don't do that. I mean, you have to make your decisions. You have to live your life. All I can do is reflect and give you perspective and help to make your decisions. All right, M. Tonar, let's have a look. Let's have a look here. All right. Hold on. Give me a second here. I'm just adjusting the computer stuff. All right. We see Linda's already at it. Welcome, Jeff. There you go. Somebody's extending a hand. That's wonderful. All right, M. Tonar. I don't know anything about you, M. Tonar, but I know you've been to the show many times. Thank you for your company, and feel free to make the best of it and share yourself. Hey, Primary, good evening. Welcome. I just saw you on the screen there. Hold on. Yay. Thank you, Primary. I just saw a great movie on Netflix. Well, it was pretty good. It was called The Titan. And I have to admit, I'm cheating a little bit here tonight, because the whole movie that we just wrote, Nova Dawn, was inspired by The Titan. Okay? But we're just taking it further. Okay? We're actually going on the journey. There you go. You see? Stephanie's got it. Stephanie's on it. Stephanie is on it. Stephanie gets it. All right, M. Tonar, let's have a look. Cards are shuffled. Here we go. We're going to cut it up, and then we're going to read. All right, here we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenge. Here's how we're going to handle it. And what's the weather like? And what's the weather like? Let's have a look. Ooh, okay, with the Knight of Swords. So, M, my feeling is that in some ways the weather is a bit challenging for you, in that you might be all stimulated and excited to want to have things work out in a certain way according to how you've been conditioned and how you would like your life to work out. All I'm suggesting is that be very, very careful right now. There's a lot of what I would say heavy pressure to be very patient, cautious, extremely strategic in all of your decisions, actions, thoughts, words, and deeds. So even though there's a lot of encouragement here, my sense is guard your words very carefully, guard your thoughts very carefully, guard your actions, guard your deeds very, very carefully as you move forward, so that you're not just kind of going as if you're on a caffeine rush. In other words, the worst thing you could do is load up with a triple espresso every morning. Okay, that's the worst thing you could do. Instead, you might be better to do some tarot illumination breathing exercises or something, and then chilling down and then moving forward in a more steady manner. That's all I'm suggesting here. What's the situation? Okay. Okay, my feeling, Mtonar, is that somewhere inside of you is a part that is, to me, it feels like it's almost screaming out, I want harmony, I want healing, I want balance, I need healing, I need that special sense that you might have never ever tasted it or ever enjoyed it in your life. I'm very, very lucky as Tarot Illumination. I've enjoyed uh, those moments in life where it's purely ecstatic and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to be like all happy with somebody under the covers. I don't have to be drunk or stoned or anything like that. The essence of pure, like 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 being that. Hold on, stay there. I'll show you. I'll just stay there a second. Okay, I wanted to get one of my little crystals. Stay there. I'm going to do something else. Hold on. I don't really put this out on the stage because it's so freaking huge, but I keep this close to my systems to try and keep the energy very, let's say, centered, focused, purposeful, balanced, grounded, and durable. Okay? So I can't, it's very, this weighs, this weighs like as much as 2 bars of gold. It's intense. So I can't really use that on the show. But I can use this little crystal here. My feeling here for you, Mtonar, is that your body, mind, heart, and soul is screaming out for harmony and balance. Like if your life is always over here 1 minute and then over there 1 minute and like over there and then over there, it's just like, oh my gosh, please, please, can I get into a state of harmony and balance where it looks kind of like this? You know, those magic tricks where people look like they're holding onto a tree or the planet, and it's just the way they take the picture. So my feeling is that it would look like this. You know, see if I can make it look, it's an optical illusion. Like I am Tunar, I want to be like this. I want to be in perfect harmony and balance, and I want to get things right. I know I have a lot of healing and things that need taken care of. I know whatever the issues are. To me, it feels like the circumstantial energy right now is screaming out very loud, please make this your number one priority. Please make the please, in other words, it's almost like a tarot illumination thing here. Please make love and healing your priority. That's what I feel is happening here. It's almost like this is not you. This is almost like an angel talking through you to be like this, to be like the embodiments of love and healing. So, and like basically get your life together and move away from all the things that are disturbing the balance and the equilibrium and getting to the point where it's almost like you could balance this on the top of your hand. You know, like when you're a kid and you're balancing pencils. I don't want to break the crystal, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's what it feels like to me. What's the challenge here? It's a lot of challenge. Okay, my feeling is that Mtonar, you might be a little bit lost. Okay, like wondering, okay, so it's kind of fun and it's a hoot to hang out here at Terra Illumination Sunday Night Live, but what exactly is going on here? What exactly are they doing and how exactly do they do that? Well, Mtonar, I do get a lot of people asking. Well, not a lot, but people do ask, like, how do you do what you do? Can you teach what you do? Can you help me to do things so that uh, you can be in harmony and balance? Because a lot of people come to the channel who are very, like, what I would call spiritually sophisticated, but there's still a part of them which can feel very deeply lost. And they want that fixed because that part can be very painful. Uh, like it can feel very, 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 it's just awful to feel really lost, but especially if you've got everything that appears to be okay, but deep inside the energy of feeling lost, or you might be kind of like scared to make decisions about what to do, like what exactly constitutes healing. Exactly, in other words, you might not even know what's out of balance with your life. Like if you're used to living a highly charged life and it's always go, 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 go. And you've never actually thought about the whole idea of slowing down and making your own spiritual growth and well-being and happiness your number one priority. That might feel very, very strange to you, because you might be thinking, well, what about the job or the career or the kids or the boyfriend or the girlfriend or the husband or the spouse or whatever it is? And what about my dreams and ambitions for myself? Well, in some ways, none of that matters if you're not healthy, because your health and happiness, your happiness, your wealth, your abundance is contingent upon your health. Okay? Like if you're really, really unhealthy, not just physically, but at the depth of your soul, there's nothing you can do. It doesn't matter what you try to do on the outside to make it work. You're going to still end up lost. So how do we fix this? Take charge. Okay? To me, it's a really loud call to like really improve. If mtonar, if you have any kind of healing practices that you're doing already at home, like maybe you do yoga training, or maybe you go to the gym, or maybe you have your juices that you make every morning, or maybe you have your prayers in the evening, whatever it is that you do uh, to to try and keep your life together as it is. My feeling is to understand that there's a whole other level going on here, where deep at the heart level, your heart wants to feel centered and balanced, not through the mind, but deep in the pit of your soul. And it might be very disorienting. So the way to handle it is make a decision to get a grip, to take charge of this stuff. Because if you are, let's say, lost in the grip of dreams and ambitions or desires that are uh, not feasible. But it's like, you know, how people are so scared to let go of their dreams, because if they let go of the dream, it's almost like there's nothing left, and then their whole life becomes a vacuum. And the sense of vacuum is so painful that we would rather fill it with illusions and delusions. And that doesn't help either. My feeling here is to like, this is a loud wake up call. Get a grip, take charge, understand that you are human and you are flawed, and that the most important thing right now is your own health and happiness at the core being of you. Nothing to do with anybody else. It's all about you. And it means having to acknowledge all your strengths and gifts and talents and all your weaknesses and challenges, all of them. In other words, you know how a lot of people like to get pumped up on Herbalife and echinacea and guarana and energy drinks and power drinks and triple espressos, and they just keep pounding themselves. Well, that's not going to help. You can only go so far that way. Eventually, you're going to need a reality check. Talk to Jeff about that and bring it into balance where you're in control of your life and you're not being swept up by, let's say, like what I would call fake energy or false energy. That's not acceptable anymore. We need to go into the depths. We need to go into the depths of you, but it means taking charge and being the boss of that, and saying no to anything that is not good for you. All right. Thanks, Em. I did the best I could. Just a little random reading. I know we're really stretching it on the channel because, we're probably thousands of miles away and I can't see you and you can't see me and things like that. But, you know, sometimes it works. I need a break, people. I'm getting a very sore throat here. So give me a moment. I'm going to put on a little tune and we'll be right back. We've got Jess, Gray, and we've got Katina. Yay. So give me a moment here. Oh, sorry, hold on. I'll be right back. BRB. All right. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here. I just got to check this sound thing. And then we'll be back in business any minute now. All right, here we go. Jazz, you're up. Okay, thanks for hanging in. The show tonight is very simple. To be honest, I'm kind of wiped out. Sometimes I'm full of beans and I'm absolutely busting with joy, and I could go for 4 hours, you know. I don't think I've got it tonight. It's been, you know, we've all had our challenges. I had to deal with that big fat T square just like you guys, okay? So Jess, cards are already shuffled. I did a lot of shuffling during the break there. And by the way, I want to say thank you, Lena. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm saying thank you in front of everybody tonight here. Lena is it's like super hyper intelligent and very, very musical. Lena knows a lot about music, uh, artists, all of that kind of stuff, and I don't. I like to do little tiny Terra Illumination songs, and we're making a Terra Illumination album, and Lena is helping. Lena is helping put lyrics on all the songs. So in the next month or so, all the little solo acoustic songs that are on the Terra Illumination songs playlist are going to have lyrics. So we can all do karaoke now. We can all do Terra Illumination karaoke. There you go. Thank you, Lena. And I just wanted everybody to know that Lena is doing a fantastic job. You're very, very, very nice to do this, Lena. Really, it's helping Terra Illumination dramatically, because the songs have been up for quite a while, but I never even knew you could. Well, I knew you could put lyrics on there. I just never even had a clue how to do it. But there we go. Thank you, Lena. I just wanted to say that. Jazz, I think cards are shuffled, you know? Let's just cut it up, people. Let's do your reading. Okay, I'm going to really cut it up big time, okay? I'm trying to fool the deck here, so there's no synchrodipity. All right, let's have a look. Here's the situation. Here's the challenge. Here's how we're going to handle it, okay? No big deal. Just a little tiny fun mini reading. You don't have to know anything. I'm not going to predict the future. I'm not going to tell you about your love life or anything, but you never know. Let's have a look. What's the weather like? Page of Cups. Well, maybe we are dealing with matters of the heart. Maybe it's time, like maybe the, like, let's say circumstantial energy is an indication that this might be a very good moment in time forget the planets, forget all the doom and scary, weird stuff I was showing you on the charts. Just like switch all that off and just click into what your heart is saying. Like, what is your heart telling you right now? To me, it feels like your heart is saying, I would really love to know what's going on at the core level right now. I never really thought about it that way. Maybe it's about time to think from that perspective. I try to do that all day anyway, myself, anyway, trying to bring myself into the heart center so that all my decisions and actions are heart based as opposed to mind or ego or circumstantial. Heart, the heart from the heart of Terra Illumination. So it makes me feel like you, Jess, are considering like, wow, it's kind of a concept. That's kind of an interesting, like making all decisions from the heart. Interesting. In other words, like when Terra Illumination goes babbling on about, oh, be loving, be loved, be loving, be loved. I am loving, I am loved. I am. It's just like, okay, weird little chants, okay, but maybe there's something to it. Jazz Gray, I don't know if you've ever been to the show before, but there is something to it. There is something very, very magical. It's the healing power of your words, okay? And how you can deliberately, by invocation, bring everything into the heart center and make the heart the, the adjudicator, the decision maker. And all decisions and actions come from the heart. Let's have a look. What's the situation? Well, maybe you're bound up, okay? It's hard not to notice that maybe you've already got certain ways of being to which you're very deeply locked. Maybe you're stuck in a relationship. Maybe you're stuck in a job or a situation or with friends or a location or certain habits. Maybe you've got a lot of very uh, toxic, unhealthy habits. Maybe to a lot of people, they don't seem toxic or unhealthy, but at the core sense of this of the soul, maybe they are unhealthy. Like there's a difference between having a glass of wine at night, which we're going to have shortly. There's a difference between having a little sip of wine in the evening and having 2/3 of a bottle or a whole bottle every night. There's a difference between sniffing incense when you go somewhere as opposed to smoking 20 Marlboro a day. There's a difference between you know like whatever it is that people do. Like some people, they don't even know they're harming themselves. They might have all these practices. Like maybe you're overworking, maybe you're overindulging with certain, let's say, chemicals. Uh, like some people are very, very good self-medicators, and they use that to stabilize their life. In other words, life traditionally goes up and down. We have moments where we intimate, we separate with ourselves or others. Life goes up and down. It's constantly life, it's we have unending, never-ending waves and cycles through which we have to navigate. We just navigated through this very, very heavy, intense full moon. You may have noticed or not. We've got a very challenging new moon coming up here, April 15th. Are you going to be aware of that or not? Uh, and we've got a very challenging day here, April 21st, okay? These are all cycles and waves. And we've got the big fat Taurus Scorpio full moon at the end of April. That's another wave. All of these are kind of waves and cycles, and they trigger like our emotions, our feelings, our heart. Some of the waves feel very exciting. Some of them feel very, very frightening. Sometimes, and if a lot of people don't like to feel as though they're at the mercy of the waves, and so they kind of deliberately self-medicate to flatline. So in other words, all the waves can be going around, but you feel as though you've got your act together, so you can just go straight through just like that. Oh, I just need another double dose of Xanax. Oh, that's no problem. I'll just take 1.5 Xanax and 2 whiskeys. That's no problem. Don't worry, I get all my special high-grade super duper weed from the blah blah distribution center, and everything is perfect all the time. That's all I need to do. And then every Thursday I do yoga at 11 a.m. and everything's wonderful all the time. Thank you very much. No, I'm saying that those things might have a lot of, you know, it might be like, in some ways it makes sense, doing what you can to make your life workable. But the other idea is that you can be very, very stuck and bound up to uh, to your own limitations, because uh, the whole idea is to be able to live and move and exploit and make the best of these ebbs and flows of nature, as opposed to immunizing yourself from the ebb and flow, which is it's more or less like numbing yourself from life. Okay, so what's the challenge? What's the challenge here? Okay, to me it feels like the challenge is, um, it's like, okay, I don't want to hurt your feelings here, Jazz, but it's, to me it feels like the challenge is about like feeling if you're ever going to achieve anything or win anything or be appreciated by yourself or others. And so instead of having to face this challenge, it's much easier to have a very like a very elaborate life that is what I would call self-medicating. I'm not necessarily saying just pills, but having all these like habits and binding kind of strategies and behaviors that are designed to keep life on an even keel, which to me, in some ways, is uh, like a self-defeating practice. But we can do that because we want to feel as though we're in control, like we're a winner. But that's like it's not true winning. It's not true success. It's not true victory. And it's just that the whole idea, the whole challenge of actually being a genuine, true winner might be, you might feel as though you're very far away from that. In other words, if you would feel like it would be really cool to score and have like a really good love life right now in some way, shape, or form, but it looks far away. And so you're kind of like trying to navigate life as though there's no problem, then that's a problem, because you might be just, it might be you're just scared. Like people get scared of success. People get scared to let go, say, in other words, enough of this BS. And then that would be achievement. That would be winning, declaring victory over the bindings. So how are we going to deal with this? All right, let's have a look, Jess. All right. Okay, with the Six of Swords here, my feeling is that you might be, just like a lot of us, very consumed by the day-to-day dramas of life that are often the things that are not working, and they consume a lot of our energy, like just trying to get through with the dramas of life. And then those dramas own you. So long as you stay bound to them and wondering if you're ever going to prevail in these situations, out of your innocence, it's like you don't even know you're doing it, but you're binding yourself into a state of failure where it's impossible to achieve or feel successful from the inside out if you are allowing yourself to be bound by things that are not working for you, and then trying to fix them by trying to stabilize, by trying to self-medicate, for example. A lot of people do that. Welcome to America. You know, 300 and whatever it is, 60 million people here, and how many people are, you know, oxycodone freaks, or, you know, Percocet, Percodan freaks, or you gotta have your, you know, $150 a month herbal stuff. You know, that's fine, but it's also extremely binding. All I'm suggesting is that you don't actually have to have that. It can be much simpler, more innocent. You can allow yourself to breathe. You can allow yourself to feel happy. You can allow yourself to feel sad and go with the ebb and flow. Accept that you're flawed and innocent. Get in the flow. Allow the emotional currents to flow in a natural way. And then understand that going forward, that it requires like making decisions to move on into a more peaceful way of being, as opposed to binding yourself to what you to what already exists, but in a way that's not healthy for you. So to me it feels like we need a lot of releasing here, a lot of releasing, Jazz, so that you can literally drop. I'm not like, maybe you're hooked on something, and it's very hard to unhook oneself. Well, but the point is that if you do it incrementally, little bits at a time, the more you unhook yourself from the bindings, the more you're going to feel like a winner, because then you are no longer owned by those things that bind you. And it allows you to leave all that emotional doo-doo and stuff, and then move on and only take what works with you. which is basically a new attitude, new perceptions, new understandings, new beliefs, new actions, okay? And leaving all the other stuff behind. And it's okay to come into all of this totally innocent, okay? And you'll come out the other side just fine. But it does require, it requires a willingness to let go, okay? That's all I'm saying. All right, Jess? So if you really need to get into it, I mean, we do private readings at Tarot Illumination. Thank you for putting money in the pot, people, all you lovely people. It really, really, really helps. So thank you so much. I'm going to put the cards away. Katina the Skeptic is next. I hope you're still here, Katina, and your skepticism didn't take the better of you and you just went on your merry way for the night. Let's have a look. Hold on, somebody else just loaded up the pot. Okay, 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 okay. Gosh, I hope I've got enough oomph left inside of me. Whew, let's just do it. My voice is getting very tired, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay? Thank you, okay, okay. It's kind of cool, isn't it? This whole super chat thing is really, really cool. I am totally digging it. All right. Oh, so thanks, Jess. So you did get something out of it. Thank you so, so much. I'm starting to fizzle out, people. I know it's early. Sometimes we go for 4 hours, but we've only been going 2.5 hours, and I'm already kind of frazzled. So please be patient. We're going to take this very gently, okay? Okay? Katina, you're up. Katina, you are up. Katina, are you still? Yes. Oh, I see you. I see you. Katina Mitchell. Wait for what? Alina wants to listen to a song. Okay. This is for all the crazy girls out there who have a crazy life. I'm just going to put it on. Okay. So you can all dance. It gives me a break, too. Hold on. I want to start the song again. Just for your own amusement, people, I'm not going to put the lyrics up anymore because there's not enough room. The paper's too small. But eventually, we're going to have some of these songs up there with lyrics. And what I would like for you to imagine is that, hold on, looks like my screen is frozen. Give me a chance. I got to unlock everything. Stay there. Okay, there we go. Okay, it looks like we're back. So yeah, if you want to, when you're singing this song, Hey Oh, just pretend it's Tarot Illumination in drag. The reality is, I wrote the song and I found this amazing singer to sing it, and I did a little bit of a fancy production, but I wrote it for all the women I knew. Okay, I'm not a womanizer. Okay, I'm not a womanizer, but I know a lot of women, and life is crazy. Okay, and I just wanted to turn it into a story, into a song. So please, hopefully with Lena's fantastic help, we're going to do karaoke for AO, but you can sing and dance to your selves. Okay. Okay, let's have a look here. I think we got the song going already, so I'm just going to play the song and take a break. It was one of the It was one of those days where everything goes wrong. My hair fell out, my heel broke off. I slept through my alarm. I missed the bus tonight. School bus stalker walked me home. I sprayed his face with mace and then he left me all alone. Hey, tonight I'm gonna dance my stress away until the break of daylight. Hey, you may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you. A lot of my relationships, they end up in the ditch. So I'm getting counseling to be in another trouble. The doctor's pills he gave me, they make me trip and fall. So if you are the man you say you are, you love me close and all. Hey, tonight
tattoos on my ass and up and down my arms could get me into trouble, leaving me rejected. Then again, pretending I'm so pure like they all do. There is no guarantee that I will be accepted. Tonight, I wanna dance my stress away until the break of daylight. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you. Tonight, we're gonna dance the stress with me until the break of daylight. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So here we are. Thanks for the little break. I really needed that. Katina, you're up. Okay. So, I'm not going to answer any questions here. Just chill, hang back, and let the little cards tell a story. And you can reinterpret it however you want. It's just like a miniature, tiny, private reading, but it's in public, and it's no different to what happens when we're doing the big general readings for the channel, I love doing this with you guys. I just so love doing this. It's like I get to feel like I have my own little campfire, and everybody comes around to hang at the Tarot Lumination campfire, and we all get to hang out. Tarot Lumination Love Tribe. Everybody brings their own flavor of self, and it's kind of a no-holds-barred situation. We have all sorts. But the beauty is, it's all about the love and the healing. There's a lot of love in the room, and you guys are very good at sharing that and spreading it around. It's all about the healing power of love. Katina, cards are shuffled, more or less. I'm just going to the last second until I feel safe and comfortable. Then we're going to cut it and do your little micro mini reading, okay? Here we go. I know you were forced to be here tonight, so I hope you get something out of this and you get at least a cheap thrill. Okay? So there, it was a completely random cut. Tarot Illumination angels are present in order. I invite you, Katina, to bring your angels into the reading with you. Ask them to surround you and give you support and listen with you so that you can check in with your angels afterward and ask them, well, what do you think of that? How did that work? Can you give me some follow-up tips, please? But that's your business, okay, Katina, with your angels. All right, let's have a look. What's the situation? What's the challenge? And how are we going to deal with it? And Katina, what's the weather like for you? Okay, another repeat card. So the Six of Pentacles here. My feeling is that it's an indication that it's time to bring things into a sense of equilibrium where, Katina, if you're one of those people who's always giving it away, giving it away, giving it away, maybe it's your day job, your family, maybe you got kids, or maybe you're like a school teacher and you're constantly having to give out. I mean, there's a lot of people who are constantly giving out. They're paid to do that. A lot of jobs require us having to give a tremendous amount of ourselves. But it feels to me that when it comes to like the reality of life, Katina, it's really, really important to understand that you have to nurture yourself as well. You have to be very kind to yourself. You know what it's like for a lot of people where, like maybe if you're a single mom, for example, and you're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week or something just to keep it together, and you're paying for childcare, you got the minivan and stuff, and you're just busting your guts all day, every day, just to keep it all together. Now, I don't know, but maybe you've got all these commitments to things that are outside of you, where you're constantly giving your talents and gifts and resources, but maybe you're forgetting about yourself. Now, tarot illumination, as you know, it's well, you don't know because if you're a first-time skeptic, one of the themes with tarot illumination is loving oneself first, which is one of the hardest things to do on earth. We are taught to do anything and everything else but love ourselves first. But loving ourselves first is how we bring the most love to the planet and the most love to ourselves, which is the most love you can bring to others. So I know it sounds upside down, but that's the actual laws of physics. So all I'm suggesting here is it might be a good opportunity right now, circumstantially, to look around and realize if you've been giving it away, it's now time for you to receive, okay? No shame in that, no apologies. If you've been soaking it all up, maybe it's time for you to share your gifts and talents with others. Either way, it needs to be brought into balance and understood that there is a giving and a receiving, and it's perfectly natural, and it needs to be brought into balance. Okay, Katina? So what's going on? So with the King of Pentacles here, my feeling is that in some ways you're kind of doing a good job of being like the best Katina you can be already in some way or another. Okay? Like, but the thing is with the circumstantial energy like this, to me I watched a show the other night. Okay, Katina, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but I'm trying to tell a story. I was watching a show. It's kind of a British kind of melodrama, and I think it's called Last Tango in Halifax. And one of the main characters is this head school teacher. And she's a very loving, caring person. She's very gifted, very talented, very majestic. Everybody respects her. Everybody loves her. Okay. And she conducts herself with the maximum levels of integrity all day, every day. And yet, even herself at this maximum level of expression, she is deeply out of balance at the core of her soul and very much in need of nurture and receiving of love at the core of her soul. But you know, sometimes it doesn't make sense because if you're already in living in a way that appears to be fully manifested and fully dignified, then you wouldn't be aware that things are out of balance. Okay, and that's the problem. Like like people who are very capable, respectable, have a lot of responsibilities, gifts, and talents, and they do it well, and they're well rewarded and well respected, and you carry yourself like that way too. Uh, Sometimes they don't know that they have issues and problems just like the rest of us. Some people have problems that are very obvious. I know several people who have lived their lives in wheelchairs. They don't have an option, and it's very obvious what their problems and challenges are. Okay, but sometimes people who are very um, outwardly apparently successful and capable don't have a lot of apparent problems, but you do. They still exist, and you have a right to bring things in harmony and balance for yourself. Okay, let's have a look. What's the challenge here? Okay, well, with the Five of Wands, my feeling is that it's almost like you don't want to deal with this. It's just like this stuff is trivial. This is silly. I'm not interested in going to battle with myself to figure out what's wrong with me and what needs to be fixed because I'm pretty awesome already. I mean, in other words, it's almost like Katina the skeptic. Like, why am I even here? What are we doing wasting our time watching these silly yellow and green cards and guys hanging around shaking these weird sticks everywhere? What is this? Okay. Well, my feeling here is that um, you know when when everything, I don't want to hurt your feelings, Katina, but what I'm feeling is that it's almost like this would be below you to actually have to go inside and go to battle with oneself to discover what is not working. Okay, because what's the point if you're already functional, capable, smart, successful, uh, basically someone who has their act together, and then being pulled in by a friend here tonight saying, hey Katina, you need to see this stuff. And then it's just like then discovering like maybe like if we examine this, like we look at Katina as the person, then there are the challenge is like being willing to deal with like whatever issues that you're not dealing with, because if you're like this all day every day, then it would appear to yourself in the mirror and to everyone else around you like you don't have any problems. Why are you even here? But the reality is, this is going to sound weird, Katina, but quite a lot of the clients that come here for private readings are very successful, very capable. Some of them are like professional healers, doctors, business people, teachers, whatever it is. And even with all of that stuff, there are issues that need to be addressed, to be healed and brought into balance and harmonized. So how do we do that? In other words, let's just have a look. Okay, my feeling, Katina, my feeling here is to understand that you're kind of in one of those wooey wooey places right now. I use that cliche word because people understand it. But my feeling is to the way to handle this, the way I've been like feeling it and describing it for you, Katina, is to understand that there's so much more to life going on than meets the eye. And that's when it comes weird and wonderful. Because once you discover, like, oh my gosh, there is a veil. Oh my gosh, there is a veil. And behind the veil, there is so much more going on than you ever imagined, than you ever knew. And you're just waking up to it. In some ways, that's very exciting, but it can also be very disorienting and very disturbing because it just all of a sudden it's like it's what happens here at Terra Illumination quite a lot. People write in or they get readings and they say, oh my God, TL, I started hearing things, or I've started seeing things, and I've started feeling things, and I met someone and I know they're from my past life, and I know and I know and I know, but it doesn't make any sense because I'm like a professional chef or a cook, or I run a food company or something. What's happening? Well, all I'm suggesting, Katina, is that there's an awful lot more going on than meets the eye. And the way to deal with your own situation, whatever it is, whatever is out of balance and needs to be balanced, in other words, uh, like finding ways and learning ways how to be kind to yourself and understanding that, you know, it's perfectly okay to hang out with weirdos and freaks like Terra Illumination and everyone else who hangs out here. As far as we're concerned, we're perfectly normal and everyone else is weird. Okay. So my feeling is like, Katina, we deal with this. Um, we don't shove it aside. We understand and we accept it, and we're grateful for the realization that there is something much more beautiful and magical out there than meets the eye. And it's a great opportunity now to like tune into it, tap into that, and treat it as an opportunity for bringing things back into balance and kind of get into the zone with this stuff. It could be actually very interesting to you. It could be end up being quite satisfying. Sometimes skeptics end up being the most capable and understanding uh, converts, because you had so much energy spent in the skeptical perspective. But once you cross the veil, once you understand that there is a veil and that there is so much more on the other side, then the skeptic, I'm not trying to brainwash you, Katina, but the skeptic not only can turn into a believer, but someone who actually understands this stuff and gets it and realizes, like, oh my gosh, now I know what you're talking about, T.O. I see it. I see it. I get it. I get it. So what do we do now? Well, guess what, Katina? None of us know. That's why we come to tarot readings. That's why I do tarot readings, because we don't know. So we're always looking, searching for the next thing beyond the veil so that we can have some understanding. It's just like the way to handle this, Katina, is to understand that you might have the most amazing smartphones and laptops and tablets and GPSs and everything, but there is something more. There is a spiritual GPS, okay? Maybe it's time to get one of these, okay? So there you go. All right, Katina? You're in the right place, by the way. You're totally in the zone, in the right place, hanging out with Terra Illumination Love Tribe here on Sunday Night Live. Thank you. Promo, promo, promo. Yay. Ray Del Sol. Looks like Ray Del Sol. Her soul is ready. Her soul is ready. Thank you, Ray Del Sol. I hope Katina gets something out of it. Okay. All right. Thank you, Katina. Thank you. Good evening and welcome. It's been a pleasure to read for you. I'm sorry, that was a bit of a heavy-duty hazing there on Katina. But, you know, it seems like I didn't feel it was appropriate to mask anything or read the cards in any other way. I mean, Katina was openly skeptical. Well, who wouldn't be? I mean, it's totally bizarre. Like you can pull these wacky little funny colored cards and a story comes out and all of a sudden it's completely resonant. I don't know you and you don't know me. And yet there it is. Okay? It's like mediumship. But at least with doing the tarot, you can see there's a way that there's a sense of credibility because you can see the cards and the stories are unfolding. Whereas with mediumship, there's no props. Okay, that's why I don't do it. Okay, I've done mediumship, I've done that kind of stuff, but it's really, for me, it's just not fun. And it never was fun. It was very satisfying at times to read for people in those ways, but it was never in the fun way that we have here with Tarot Lumination. All right, okay, you're up. Okay. You know what? I think when I have one more little tiny short song, and then we're going to read for okay, because I'm wilting. I'm starting to wilt, people. There you go. So, give me a moment here. Here we go. I'm going to put this little song on. It feels kind of relevant. I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. When the light of hope it fades, when all faith is blown away, when all sense of trust goes down, when a smile turns into frown, when it feels there's no relief, nothing in which to believe, desperate in woe and grief, angels come reminding me, I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. Angels gather close to me, show me what I cannot see. Angels take me by the hand, lift me when I cannot stand. Angels lead me through the dark, soothe and tend a broken heart, laughing at the circumstance, crying while we sing and dance. I am guided, I am protected, I am guided, I am protected, protected. I am guided. I am 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 protected. All right, people, free falling. Sounds like you guys are talking about free fall. Okay, you're up. All right, here we go. Let's have a look. What's going on? Okay. Let's have a look. What is going on with you? What's going on? I am loving. I am love. I am loving. I am love. I am loving. I am love. I am loving. I am loved. 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 I am loving. I am loving. I am loved. You, I am loving. I am loving. I am loved. Okay. Bring your angels in. Hang tight. Here we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenge. Here's how we're going to handle it, okay? All right, okay. And what's the circumstance like? Okay, Queen of Wands. Okay, my feeling here right now is that, to me, it almost feels like surprise. It feels like, wow, this is so freaky. This is so weird how things end up in these magical little ways where you can just show up on your smartphone or your tablet or your desktop or laptop or whatever it is, and you get to hang around, you press a few buttons, you watch this stuff on a screen. There's this tarot illumination thing, and there's all the crazy people over there in the chat. You get to hang out. It's really quite magnificent. And you are part of it, okay? So my feeling here is that this is a place to shine. This is a way to shine. This is a chance for you, okay, to shine. Like you might have hidden talents and gifts that maybe you're naturally very shy. But my feeling here is that this is, to me, it's like an indication. It's not an indication. It feels like a calling. It feels like it's a calling, like, okay, it's time for okay to really like come out of the shadows. Okay? It's time to come out of the shadows and shine and be the inspiration. Like if you're very good at just ticking along, the reality is I have a feeling that you have a lot to offer others in such a way that uh, you can be like a guiding light. You can be inspiring to others in ways that you might not have known or ever done before. Okay? Maybe you're waking up to this now. What's the situation? Okay. Ho. King of Wands and Queen of Wands. So it feels to me, I'm not going to turn this into a love and relationship reading, okay? Now you can do that later if you want. You can do a complete action replay, rewind later on tomorrow or whenever and reinterpret the thing completely to suit you. My feeling here is that circumstantially you are being woken up to the realization about, let's say, certain drives, passions, and desires that you have that might have been latent for a while, and it's time for them to come up, okay? Now, with the King of Wands here, the situation is, um, it's like I don't know why I'm feeling this. Okay, okay, but it's like the like a big question. It's almost like, TL, are you serious? Like, do you really think I am all that? Do you think I really have all this? Do you really think that I do have like an aura that is above and beyond what I've ever imagined it to be, and that, like, to me this feels like it's like you wandering around your life, your world, the house, the apartment, the job, the bathroom, the changing room, in front of a mirror, wondering like, my gosh, maybe I really do have gifts and talents. Maybe I do have leadership qualities. Maybe I do have what it takes to be like the most awesome version of okay, okay. And the question is bringing it into balance, because if you're one of those people where you're really out of alignment with yourself, where you're literally not married to yourself, where you've never done the self-love thing, you've always been either there for someone else or them for you, or you're always putting it out and you're never receiving, then you're not loving yourself first. And my feeling here with the King and the Queen of Wands is that it's a very strong indication right now. This is going to sound very strange, okay? I'm just saying. It's going to feels like this reading is all about like it's time for you to be married to yourself so that you can be the most loving person to yourself, an inspiration to yourself. And once you start doing that and you realize that it's a formula, then that actually brings you into your power. But it has to be done properly. It means actually having to honor yourself and respect yourself at this kind of level, at the level of the King of Wands, which is full dignity, full mastery, and uh, in the outside world, in your day-to-day life, but also in the depths of your soul, and understanding that um, it's okay. It's okay to be like, it's okay to shine. You know, a lot of people, if you have certain gifts and talents, but you're surrounded by incompetence and failure and pain and loss and suffering, where you don't want to shine, because then you would stand out as being happier, richer, better, smarter, more inspirational, more capable than others. That's very, very unloving. That's very selfless. That's very self-defeating behavior. And my feeling here, this is like to do with that Marianne Williamson quote, I think about when you allow yourself to shine and rise into your power and you do it fearlessly and majestically, then other people realize, oh my God, if okay, okay can do it, then maybe I have a chance as well. And it's, so in other words, like the worst thing you could do is dim yourself down to fit in. That's not cool. What's the challenge here? Okay. To me, it's a feeling like whether you belong. Where do you belong? Because if you're really out of alignment with yourself, and you do have all these sort of certain gifts and talents, is where, like, if you really wanted to, you could, let's say, radiate to a higher standard and be more like your full majestic self, but that requires like serious attention to being yourself, and you're not trained or raised that way. uh, so that, like, it's almost like Tara Illumination's words are blasphemy. Like, how dare you say the most important thing is you can love yourself first? Who do you think you are? Okay, okay. You're supposed to be doing this and this and this and this and this, and you were raised to be that and be that and be that and be that and be that. And so it's like you might have been trained to dim your light. You might have been trained or raised to keep it, and to the point where you're almost like an alien to yourself. So with the Three of Pentacles here, the challenge might be feeling like, where do I belong? Where is my tribe? Who are my people? Uh, uh, do I, how do, what happens if I actually dare and risk being my full, glorious, wonderful self? Am I going to find anybody I can hang out with who understands me and I understand them? So it might feel as though you're like an alien to yourself or an alien to your own people, your own world, and that you're constantly having to dumb yourself down just to fit in. That's a real problem. Now, with the Three of Pentacles here, my feeling is that let's turn this upside down completely. What needs to happen, what would be, we haven't got this card yet, but if you, let's say, became fully married to yourself, love yourself first, and shine to your fullest optimal self, then you would radiate a different energy and you would start attracting people who do understand you and who do resonate at that level. You get them and they get you. But right now, this is the problem because it's not happening. Because I don't think I don't feel like you're uh, at your full self. Okay, so how are we going to deal with this? Okay, my feeling is understand that you're on a journey. Understand that what we're talking about here might feel very alien to you. Okay, in other words, yeah, we talk about it like, oh, love yourself first, like we do the journey of the heart spread, and how do we actually do that? And then love and relationships, we talk about intimacy and separation, how it's important to love yourself first in a loving relationship, and blah blah, all that tarot elimination stuff. And now here we are, and you might have been listening to it and going, oh, I get it, I get it, I get it. But now that you're actually getting a little micro mini reading with tarot illumination directly live in public, it's just like, oh, so it's actually real. It's like, oh, so this actually applies to me too. In other words, I can't just sit here and listen and hang out with you guys and say, oh, I'm one of the tarot illumination love tribe. I love hanging out with you guys. You love hanging out with me. The thing is, like, it's almost like you're being outed here. You're being outed as like you're doing a very good job of fitting in by dumbing yourself down. But my feeling here is that you have more light to shine, but you're reluctant to shine because then it makes you stand out. And then when you stand out, you become very visible and self-conscious. And if you're naturally very shy, that's a problem. So the way to handle this is to understand that what's happening on this channel applies to you as well, and that if you've been called out and you've been outed, and now you're realizing it is time for okay to come into your full light, that could be very, very scary. But the way to handle it is understand it's just like being hazed. Okay, it's just like when you start a new college, a new job, a new profession, a new location, new schools, you have kids, or you have a new relationship or something like that. It can be really scary at first, but that's normal. Okay, it's normal to be like a little bit scared of these things. So the way you treat it, the way we treat what we're talking about here, about like give up the process of dumbing yourself down and instead give yourself permission to love yourself first. Start doing it as a practice, actually do it, and realize that it is going to be life changing for you, and turn it into a practice. And of slowly, eventually, you're going to start hanging out with people on your wavelength who are also doing the same thing, loving themselves first. It's just that, please understand, it might feel like a hazing. It might feel like you're getting hazed as you go through this and get into this. And it could be scary, like being initiated. So if you think of this like little mini reading as like it's a formal wake-up call that it's time for you to marry yourself to yourself. There's no going back. You've been outed. You have to do this. You have to find yourself with your right people. No point in dumbing yourself down just to fit with everyone else that is already there. So it's like you're being initiated. Okay, and that's it. Nothing scary. It's just an initiation, and it will be over. And all initiations are scary. That's all there is to it. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. Okay. All right. I hope I didn't scare you or put you off or confuse you. All right. I'm sorry if I did. I hope this means something to somebody if it doesn't mean anything to you. Okay. So let's leave it there. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for that. Oh, look, we have some Muslim. Hold on, I need to write that down. Stay, don't move the chat. Stay there, people. I want to catch that. Muslim K. Muslim K. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And what was that? Marissa and David Haynes. Wow. Okay. Marissa and David. That's fantastic. There's a couple here. That's fantastic. Sydney, Australia. Oh my God. I think Indigo's from Australia. We have a few people here from Australia tonight. Hello, welcome, Marissa and David. Hello, Oslam K. Thank you so, so much. Wow. All right, people. Okay. Hello, hello, Marissa. Well, hello. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Hi, Marissa and David Haynes. Greetings. All right, let's do it. I'm going to put on the bounce just to sort of shake everything up a little bit. I just wrote this nutty song just for the hell of it. Hold on. Give me a moment here. Oops. What did I just do? Something stupid. Stupid. Okay.
This is called the bounce.
Get the groove going.
Way out in Tokyo, deep in old Moscow, in some parts of Trinidad, I remember the good times I had. All along the Great Wall of China, on the decks of ocean liners, with the Incas up in the Andes, way out in Los Angeles. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. I smoked my wow with Geronimo. I've been downtown with nowhere to go. I made peace between the West and East, and I've met beauty and their beasts. I swam around the great equator. I started out sooner than later. I've been out to both of the poles, and I know where you don't go wrong. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. Let's bounce.
Okay, I just had to get that out of my system. It's a totally stupid song, but I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to do that live one day with Terra Lumination karaoke. Oh man, I'm gonna start chilling out, people. I'm gonna let the screen roll. You guys can hang out, and we'll just see what happens. Okay. It's 1 a.m. for Light Flower. Wow. Yeah, total ninja moves. Thanks, Lena. I'm glad you understand. So, yeah. There you go. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. Just came out of a full moon. It's the perfect time. It's the perfect time. It's the perfect time. It's the perfect time. Oh, man, I'm trying to learn how to operate this recording studio. It's going to take a long time, I can tell. But once we got it together, we're going to make some really good love and healing music, okay? Dear, dear, wonderful Lena. Lena is here tonight. Dear, wonderful Lena. She has to go back to college very, very soon. But we're going to spend the next month or so getting the lyrics onto the videos for some of the songs. So it's going to be fun. And some of them are going to be silly, fun, wacky songs that you can do karaoke at home. I know it's very embarrassing. You can just lock yourself in a room and do it with yourself, okay? I do things like that. I do stupid stuff like that, okay? I don't apologize. No, no. So I want to thank you so much, Lena, for the help so far. It's very, very inspiring because sometimes I get really, really depressed about, what am I doing? How am I going to do this? How are we going to make it happen? But you are a living example, Lena, of Tarot Illumination Love Tribe in action. Of getting a lot of support for some of you guys. You have some amazing ideas about what to do, how we're going to grow the channel and make it best for everybody, because that's what I'm into. Of course, it's a very, very tiny channel right now. Some guy called it, one of the viewers called it the champagne and caviar of tarot. In other words, it's probably only going to work for a very small number of very sophisticated, highly demanding people like you guys. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being perceived as the champagne and caviar of tarot. That's fine. Love it, love it, love it. So, yeah, it's so cool. We did one song. It's going to take about a month or so. I don't know. But eventually we're going to put all the songs up on the channel so you can see the lyrics. So I don't have to put them on paper. You don't have to write in. Also, we're waiting for approval for publishing for the book of lyrics. And it's going to be something like, it's going to be cheap. It's just going to be a little book so you can have it in your hand. I love to have lyric books. When I was a little kid and I listened to pop music and rock music and things, I always wanted to have the lyric books in front of me so I could sing along. So I thought I would do the same. So there you go. What else did I want to do? Oh. Gosh, I'm feeling all sort of sing-songy, but I don't have the recordings done. It's totally weird. It's a very weird feeling. Give me a moment here. I'm trying to get grounded, get myself centered. I know what will help. Give me a moment here. This is what will help. Gotta get my cranberry juice. Give me a moment. Okay, here we go. That's better. Now I can chill out and hang out with you guys. I think I might be lowering the prices of private readings, by the way. Not for the little one, but for the big one. Because Tarot Illumination is not one of the big monster hero Tarot Illumination tarot channels. Because some of those really big top name readers, they charge like $150 for a reading. And that's a huge amount of money. And right now, the private readings, the proper ones, are like $77 or something. And I had to raise the prices, number one, because it's a lot of work and I need to get paid properly. But also, I had to stop because I was getting too many readings. I couldn't handle it. But I don't want to scare people away. Okay. So I'm trying to find a balance, and maybe we can chop and change as we grow. So right now it's 77. But I'm thinking of dropping it down to 66 or maybe even 55, just so that we can give readings to people who wouldn't normally be able to afford one. I also want to let you know that we were raffling all the readings for private readings, but the raffles were shut down. Can't do the raffles anymore. I'm not allowed to. It's illegal, apparently, with my systems here. Maybe it works for other tarot readers, but Tarot Illumination is shut down for raffles, and I'm not going to mess with the system. I'm not going to mess with it. I stay very close to the community guidelines now with YouTube and all that, and they've been very supportive and very helpful. So it's taken a whole year. It's taken a whole year to get Tarot Illumination to the point where the channel is just stable enough to keep itself going without Tarot Illumination myself having to spend 15 hours, 20 hours a month, which is a lot of work actually, just to keep the channel alive, uh, from, you know, all the static and the attacks and the haters. So that's all stopped now. We've done that. It's all stabilized. You know what? I think I'm going to put the little candles on so we can chill and just hang out, okay? All right. No, Lena, it's not going to work. They can tell. It's like I have to be very, very, very careful. For some reason, Primary, I think Primary is here tonight. And Primary, you said something, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, because I felt it was quite unfair that a lot of channels, they say and do whatever they want, bad words and everything. And it's not allowed here on Terra Illumination. Uh, and so Primary said, well, you know what, Tio? You're being held to a higher standard. Okay, maybe that's a spiritual thing, and that's okay. Uh, so maybe that's just how it is. Maybe Terra Illumination is being held to a higher standard, and I just have to get used to that and accept it. But it does keep the show, uh, let's say, presentable, because I know, like Precious, I think, is it Precious? You've got some kids, and sometimes you let your little kids, you actually invite your little kids to watch. So, uh, you know, I want it all to keep going. Let me put some candles on because I got to start winding down here for the evening, and we're going to put some more music on. We can just chill and hang out and that kind of stuff. Um, so bear with me. I'm going to put a song on that I rarely play on the live show because it's kind of sad. It's kind of a sad and gloomy song about loneliness and heartache. But you know, sometimes it's appropriate. So I'm gonna play it. Okay. Okay. Now this will go on for quite a while. It's quite a long. Here we go. There's a place that I go for the brokenhearted. Pretend I'm Elvis Presley. This is the Terra Illumination Elvis Presley. Okay, here we go. So if you can imagine old school, just old school type of setting, you're in your high school days or your kids' days or adolescence or early love and early romance, and you had no clue what was going on. And then all hell happened and you got dumped. You're totally in love, or you thought you were, and they loved you, you loved them, and then all of a sudden you get dumped. And there's no understanding, you don't know what to do. So you end up crying in your beer, crying in your wine, crying in your whiskey, and there's nothing to do except to go out and about. And you know how I talk about, limbic resonance, like really successful winners hang out with really successful winners. Well, sometimes when you're really down and out and brokenhearted, you go and hang out with other people who are down and out and brokenhearted. And like you could find that at your local corner bar. So this is kind of what the song is about. So just imagine Terra Illumination is kind of Elvis Presley, and there's a beautiful piano playing in the background, and it's smoky, and there's some good whiskey handy. There's some good beer. There's some good smokes in the old days when you could smoke in bars, and there's other lovely people there, but they're in as much pain. They're having as much pain as you are, and so you can hang out and tell them about all your misery, and they can tell you all about their misery, and then you realize you're not alone. There's a place that I go for the brokenhearted. There's a place that I go when I'm broken hearted. It's a place where everyone gets in the door, whether young or endowed or old, or when you've got nobody to hold.
You get some complimentary love, then you're free to slow dance on the floor. In this place that I go, there are others just like me. There's no shame, despite your pain. There's no blame allowed. Where the music, it lifts you up, it lets you cry, and gently sets you down with no judgments. And you're not just a face in a crowd. Sometimes when it's quiet, you won't have to wait too long in line. You enter, then take your sweet time to pick and choose. So who you gonna tell your story to? Sometimes it gets so crazy, yeah, you'll be waiting for over an hour. But the bouncers, they'll find a way to squeeze you in for sure. Ooh, 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 if you start getting too sentimental, there's a team that'll tear you apart, then put you back together better, so you can make a new start. Yeah, yeah. And it's okay just to sing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Feel your pain, sing it oh, just get it out, get it gone, then reclaim your heart. Bless the love that you've lost, then move on. There's a place that I go when I'm broken hearted.
So you can probably see why I don't play that song too much on the show, because it gets me all kind of sad and weepy. And sometimes, like in the depths of relationships, as we intimate and we separate, again, like one of the readings we had tonight, I think there was the devil card over here, and I was going on about how, I forget who it was, but how we find ways to self-medicate ourselves and treat ourselves, so that we don't have to deal with the ups and the downs, the intimacy, the separation, the delicious feelings and the terror of coming so deeply close to another. And then the times when we have to release and allow the other to be the other, so that you can have some space and time and room for you to be yourself as well. And then the calling to be together again. So it's like we're always intimating and always separating. It's just that sometimes the degree is very, very intense. And when it gets so far away, when we feel we've lost our way, it can be soul crushing, absolutely soul crushing. So I empathize and understand with any of you who've had to live with that or endure any of that. It doesn't matter whether you're really rich and gorgeous and beautiful, or smart or anything like that. Pain is pain. Heartache is heartache. And it's very, very easy to distract ourselves with anything and everything than the energy of the heart. So I know it sounds contradictory, but I work very hard to stay in the heart energy. And sometimes it can be very, very uncomfortable there. But that's where all the love is. That's where it comes from. That's where it goes to. So we bring it in, we bump it out. Let's do a little invocation. Um, Let me just do this for fun. Hold on. I want to do this before I go. I want to kind of like put some cement here into the show tonight and to just bring the love in for all of us and share with us, okay? So I'm going to go straight into it for all of us. I'm just going to share what I'm going to do tonight anyway, but I was going to do this after the show, but I think I'm going to do this with you guys tonight. And instead of I'm just going to put we. Okay, I hope you don't mind. This is just to cheer myself up a little bit because I've had a few things that made me quite sad recently. So I'm kind of doing my own self-loving, on my own self-healing here tonight with you guys, and I'm sharing that with you. So here we go. It goes like this. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our bodies from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our minds from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our hearts from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our souls from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our relationships and our loved ones from up above. We ask for the healing power of love, I already said this, to fill our loved ones from up above. These are the ones we hold dearest to our heart, the ones who hold us very dear. We ask for the healing power of love to fill them from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our homes from up above, our apartments, our minivans, our cars, the places where we reside, the places where we shelter, the places where we lay our head, the places where we sleep. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our whole lives from up above. Basically, what I'm asking for myself, and I'm asking for you guys too, is that you open up your heart, open it up gently, very, 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 very gently, and you simply reach up. I mean, you can do it physically, or you can just do it in your mind with your eyes closed, and you just ask for the healing power of love to fill your life from up above, and ask for it meaningfully. Uh, you can do it even if you don't believe it, but if you just do it enough times where you're kind of mesmerizing yourself, then guess what happens? It actually starts to move. The healing power of love actually starts to move into your life. It becomes like an energy field. You can actually start to feel it. It's almost like a current. It's like walking under a warm shower. You know, when you've got when it's just like a warm summer shower and you don't need an umbrella or anything. It's just beautiful sometimes to feel that energy. And then it comes into you and it starts to permeate your whole body, your whole soul, all the way through to the extent of your limbs, all the way down to your arms and hands, your legs and feet, to the point where you literally are a container. You are a transceiver. You have just received the healing power of love and it now exists in your body. And now the question is, what do you do with all of that? Of course, love yourself, give yourself all the love that you can, all the love that you need, and then own it. Okay? And now you have the capacity to be loving and be loved. You can now share that love. You can push that love outwards. You can literally radiate love from your core, your heart center. You can radiate that outward by decision. Okay? Being loving, being loving, being loving, being loved, being loved, being loved. Be loving, be loved, be loving, be loved. And it is a formula. It is a process. It's a trick, if you want, however you want to think of it. Okay? And so if you got to go, you got to go. So I'm just going to wrap it up. I'm just going to put Love the Word on and I want to sing it. I just want to pretend we're all in a big rock concert together and we get to hang out. So let's pretend let's just pretend it's the end of the campfire and we all got to go home. Well, it's not a pretend. We do have to go home. I've got to call it quits. I'm totally wiped out. And we'll do this again next week. I'm just going to put this up here. It's the song for the night. I'm just going to put this out. And give me the word. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a moment here, people. I need a little refreshment. I'll put this here for your entertainment pleasure. And then we're going to play it, okay? Now, one of my big dreams and ambitions is to record this song properly and then do a show. I want to do a show for you guys. And I want to do a real live show with real tickets at a real concert on a real stage with big lights and big sound and big instruments. And all of you can come up and be Tarot Illumination dancers, and we'll have real musicians, and Tarot Illumination can do some sing along, and you can all participate, okay? And we'll have an actual Tarot Illumination love fest, okay? That's what we're going to do. It's going to take time.
Sing the word, chant the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, feel the word, love the word, live the word, vibrate the word, shake the word, hum the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sigh the word, love the word, sing it out, sing the word, chant the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, feel the word, love the word, live the word, vibrate the word, shake the word, hum the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sigh the word, love the word, sing it out, sing the word, chant the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, feel the word, love the word, live the word, vibrate the word, shake the word, hum the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sigh the word, love the word, sing it sing the word, chant the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word,
That was lovely. Thank you so, so much. I'll leave you guys to it. It's been a pleasure to be here for you. Please make the best of your week ahead and see you soon. Okay? Bye bye. Love and light to all. Good night, everybody. Thank you so, so much for visiting. Bid the farewells. Do all the farewells. Okay? Okay? Good night. Bye bye.